From Afande Deno arresting a thief.
Najua Afande ni Deno siku zombo na ni utumishi kwa wote.
To overhaul of Kenya Forest Service.
Why is one of Kenya's source of water supplying millions, including Nairobi, under threat?
From Afande Deno arresting a thief.
Najua Afande ni Deno siku zombo na ni utumishi kwa wote.
To overhaul of Kenya Forest Service.
Why is one of Kenya's source of water supplying millions, including Nairobi, under threat?
When does the president work?
I feel like this guy doesn't spend time working. You get?
Kenyans turned into beggars.
Parliament, we are coming. We are coming for you. We are coming for you.
Hello, how are you? Welcome back to ShowNewTrend. I'm also today and my name is Elvis Derry. The question of the day is, what time or when does the president of Kenya sit in office and work? Listen to this.
My problem with this presidency is I feel like this guy doesn't spend time working. You get? There's always something that he's saying. Like, bro, even as a man, you can't keep that many promises. Do you understand? Like, how about you have 3 days where you actually, we don't know what you're doing. Maybe you're in office chilling. You get? Because, bro, every fucking day, there's something. There's something, brother.
I think this guy is not stupid. I think he knows exactly what he's doing. This, of course, is way above my pay grade. I'll say that. But the optics don't look that great. But he knows what he's doing. Just
as G was saying, bro, you can't be tone deaf to what's going on,
yes.
Right? We have a medical system that's not working.
I'm with you, bro. I'm with
you understand?
I'm with
My
you.
friend was telling me about the mom needs to go for operation, and they were supposed to sort it out, and they've refused because there's a lot of, and that's a lot of people going through this, right?
Yeah.
That system is a priority.
Yes,
you get? Yes, like if I was him right now, I would fix that.
Yes.
On a serious note, Kenyans, when does the president really work? Or do we even have a president in this country? Listen to this.
When is Kasongo working? Kasongo has been reduced to become his communication and PR team. Kasongo is always responding. Why are you explaining to us how Taifa K is working? Sawa, you're the PS, you're the CS, you're the in charge of health. You are in charge of youth innovation or youth creativity. Sasa umeenda Grammys. You're in charge. Why can't you let the respective ministries and the respective people who've been appointed to do these things, let them do? You preaching how something is working, talking about it in churches yesterday all over the country, endorsing people to talk and retalk, and now our kids, when we take them back to school, they have to what is it called? We have to be on board your project. I don't know if it's Shift, Sha or Taifa Care. I really even don't know how it works, and I don't even have the time to do it, because if it's not working, why am I boarding? Why? Somebody please explain to me, why are we boarding on things that are not working? You cannot be reduced constantly to responding and responding and responding. Can you do your work, and the relevant people in charge of this ministries or dockets will do the responding, and you have a communications and PR team that clearly you're also in charge of, because it is failing you miserably, because they should be the ones painting your tainted image, and they're not doing it because guess who's in charge? You are in charge.
As Kenyans are baffled, asking themselves, where is the president and what time does the president really work? I want to show you guys of a rare video of how the president, your president, spends most of his time. Take a look.
Ruto ako wapi? Ako hapa. Ndio ule. Kasongo yeye. A
well-known and great police officer by the name of Afande Deno He has made headlines after he caught a criminal stealing solar panel from a billboard owned by AdSite, an advertisement company. Just take a look at how things unfolded.
Tunasema shughuli ni gani uni afande denu na kila siku mnambiangaje makajana usipojituma utatumwa, si ndio? Bazenga tumempata juu ya billboard huko juu, top of the topest huko juu. Na billboard na believe ni ya AdSite. So kijana alikuwa anapiga shughuli pale hivyo, ilikuwa imefunguliwa, nilikuwa nataka kuingia ndonyo, si ndio? Tumemchika, tumemweka machengerezi, tuko shughuli, tukomboka kila siku hapa na kijana Kongo anatangwa dash kijana kujituma, si ndio? So mimi naambia kama kijana waondokea crime. Crime doesn't pay. Unaona bazenga? Aina kulala tu ndino, si ndio? So wase wangu wa AdSite, hii billboard yenu iko hapa from GM Mombasa, from GM. Mumeka hiyo whatever ya Jambo Jet. Advert ya Jambo Jet. Hii shughuli ni yenu, tumetoa hapo. Bazenga alikuwa hapo juu, alikuwa anajaribu kusongana. Najua fund ni deno siku zombo na ni utumishi kwa wote. Tumeamua kutumikia nani? Huyu kijana unaona vizuri, hatujamguza, hatujampanguza. Tumemshughulikia vizuri. Hiyo ndio utumishi kwa wote, ndio community policy. Na pia wase wa AdSite advertisement company tumewapigia shughuli moja safi. Hii kitu haijakufa, wamulikia cameraman. Karibia, usiogope kitu. Unaona vizuri hii haijakufa. Jamaa tumemwekea makachengerere, tunaenda pale kumbuku, tumweke into books.
We need more police officers like Afande Deno, serving the people of Kenya, protecting our communities and fighting crime in our communities. I want to show you guys a video of a young man who was conned, and just listen to how he narrated his story.
Kumeenda aje?
Ndio kumeenda aje, napanda hivi. Mzee ako mbele, mzee ako mbele yangu anaangusha makapa. Mwenye ako nyuma yangu anakuja anachukua anishow aje. Simseti ndio tugawiane. Sisi tunaenda hivyo. Mwenye ameangusha anakuja anatufuata anasema atushuka. Sisi tunamwambia kuna mmoja mwingine basi amechukua anarudi. Mwenye akaoneza makapa ananipei. Nimesema na baba. Ndio mwingine anakuja kukujia. Sasa tunajifanya.
Watu mbili.
Nasema aje. Ambie mjamaa aje. Huyu ni fundi aenda kutengenezea simu. Sinamwekea pasa.
Ati nikutumie.
Mwenye ameangusha ndio anashua aje tuachanishe tuachana shughuli tumeenda kugawiana ndio. Sisi tunaachana hivyo tenje inaenda.
Tenje yako sasa?
Tenje yangu sasa.
Wameichukua aje?
Nimempea nikamwekea password.
Sasa kwa nini umempatia password?
Tulikuwa tumeagana aje aseme yeye ni fundi ameenda kutengenezea. Ndio mwingine achae na mwenye ameangusha ndio achae na sisi.
So umepatia na simu yako bure? Ndio wamekupatia nini? Wamekupatia nini? Onyesha na hiyo kitu. Hii. Ndio ume-exchange na
hapa ndio tume-exchange.
Okay.
Kama umefunga. So mimi sina
hiyo simu yako. Unajua police station? Ya Kilo. Ndio wapi askari hiyo story. Walai. Bye.
A conservationist by the name of Dr. Isaac Kalua Green, he has called for the overhaul of Kenya Forest Service, citing that they have failed to protect the country's forests. Listen to what Dr. Isaac Kalua Green had to say.
The trees that are cut in our forests, the timber that is produced to do the biggest construction, just because someone is in authority as a chair of Kenya Forest Service, conservator being misused. In fact, I should be calling for those people, sincerely speaking, to resign if we have to change the culture of our country. Because all that these people have been doing is known. It is bare. Charcoal is moving from different places every single day. Teak wood and trees that are so precious for this country of medicinal value are being exported out of this country. Just because it is your time, inakuwa ni wakati wako wa kukula. I think this has come to an end. I started this war when I was a young man, and I think time has come. At my old age, where I am, I determined it as old. I think we must just do what is right for God's glory.
Dear Kenyans, our forests are under threat. This means that the indigenous natural vegetation, even the animals that call the forests home, are all under threat. Deforestation without afforestation. Just listen to this.
Why is one of Kenya's source of water, supplying millions, including Nairobi, under threat? A road.
A road called Mau Mau that has been approved by the government of Kenya will be passing through the heart of Aberdare Forest. This means 286 acres of indigenous and natural vegetation will be cleared. How does this align with the initiative to plant 15 billion trees?
Endangered species will face a greater risk. Increased human-wildlife conflict will disrupt their habitats, pushing them to closer extinction.
It will further expose the forest to development, land grabbing and logging, compromising the water sources and offsetting the irreplaceable benefits of this ecosystem.
Let us know what you think in the comments.
A video has been trending from Kisii County, where the residents there lined up to receive unga for Christmas from their governor, Honorable Simba Arati. Kenyans, just take a look at this nonsense.
Mtu abigwa anaona asama tanga. Mtu abigwa anaona asama tanga mama hata bigwa tabanga mbele tiyare wote. Mitai bimbi goeta ngaba na Simba Arati to bwata. Eta ya gusi.
Mujamono. Abana batata Simba Arati agenderere nyasaye. Aba malaika watana kalitu aba nainwe. Asante we.
In this video, I don't see the youths there. I don't see the Gen Zs there. What I am only seeing is the beggars. Like, this clearly shows you that the leaders are not the problem, but it's the people, the citizens who are the problem. We seriously need more civic education in our communities.
Kuna uzingiri fulani nimeona kwa hii nchi. Yani politician wanataka wa turn into beggars ili mweze kuwawashi. Kiangalia uzingiri mkalenjini hata mwenye hajesoma. Anatumia hiyo opportunity ya watu kuwa maskini kufanya watu wamglorify. Jamaa amefanya wamama wazee bwana, wamama rika ya shosho yake ati wanapanga line ajawapatie food. Sasa hiyo ni uzingiri gani? Yaani ama politician wanatakanga tubaki poor ili tuendelee kuwa beg. Lakini ukiangalia countries zenye ziko led tu vizuri, country kama Japan, unapata kila mtu ako na do. Hakuna mtu anaenda kupanga line kwa politician ati apewe food, alafu ndiye aanze kuwa praise akiwapigia makofi kila mahali. Hii nchi yenyewe Zakayo ametani nchi into a country of beggars.
While the beggars are receiving unga from their governor, let us all go to Nairobi City, in Karen, around Bomas Galleria, where a road has been flooding and has flooded for several days, and yet nothing has been done. The gross oversight has not yet been rectified. Like, where is the governor of Nairobi, Governor Sakaja? Where is Kenha? Where is Kura Roads? Like, what is happening in Kenya? Take a look at this video.
Hapa ni wapi? Hapa ni wapi? Hapa ni wapi? Hapa ni Karen. Sakaja Bay. Manze. Enya Nairobi jo. Nairobi za ghetto. Na hii place kuna ngata footpath. Unangangana tu na magari katikati ya barabara ndio uvuke barabara. Hapa ni Karen.
Kenyans, my fellow Kenyans and my fellow Gen Zs, the fear is gone. The fear is totally gone and the clouds are gathering.
William Ruto, that somebody is stupid, somebody is selfish, somebody mwenye anajipenda yeye na tumbo yake. And then you have your girlfriends like Kimani Chungwa na Kithure Kindiki wenye umeweka mbele are supporting everything stupid that you are saying. And you are calling yourself a president. The worst nightmare that this country has ever faced, the worst nightmare that we have faced as a country in Kenya is having William Samoei Ruto as the president.
That you're gassing us. These Ruto boys. Hey. We'll find you in 2027, Ruto. We'll be there, of course. We are fighting for our own generation. We want all the taxes to be removed. We don't want any tax. We don't want any tax.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. I'm your host, Elvis Derry. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Parliament, we are coming. We are coming for you. We are coming for you.
From activists not giving up to Kenyans fighting back.
Ati wakiona watu wana abduct mtu, wana deal na wao hapo hapo.
Is it time for the Gen Z?
The Gen Zs you are killing and forcefully abducting. They have one advantage over you.
Listen to this.
William Samoei Ruto is a murderer.
We are coming for you.
Hello, how are you?
Welcome back to ShowNewTrend. I'm also today and my name is Elvis Derry. Since the Gen Z protest started in Kenya, so many lives have been lost. So many of them are still missing till date. And so many of them have been injured beyond recovery. And even some of them are still being abducted till today. And do you think that one day, the tables will turn in this country? Listen to this.
The people you are killing, the Gen Zs you are killing and forcefully abducting, they have one advantage over you. They have the advantage of time and age. They will outlive you. So it means, at the time when you exit office, Gen Zs will be the ones occupying those offices. They will deal with you. And as I've said, they have advantage of time and age. They can comfortably see you through the court and the prisons until you die. While them, they are still young and agile, serving the Republic. So be very careful. Okay. But it's not for me to advise anybody. Everybody defines their destiny. If that is your fate, that date is coming.
So you're saying the buck stops with the president, but he's been heavily silent on this?
The buck stops with him, because ultimately he's the commander-in-chief. And all these things are being done to the benefit of who? Who is the ultimate beneficiary? It's him. He must take his skunk and serve with it. Cannot cherry pick.
In preparation of Monday protests, Bukangesa Omole, he went all the way to Siaya to inject. And this is what he had to say about the current president of Kenya, William Ruto.
Let us not pretend completely. On the national politics, we cannot pretend. William Samoei Ruto is a murderer. William Samoei Ruto is a thief. And William Samoei Ruto has killed every day, even today in the TV. Yesterday, William Samoei Ruto was with Raila Amolo Odinga in Homa Bay. And William Samoei Ruto admitted for having abducted young innocent Kenyans to go and torture them. We refuse that. Even Jaramogi Oginga Odinga here, if he was alive, he will have spoken against state-sponsored terrorism. So let us not be shy. Raila has joined a murderer, a thief, and somebody who actually belongs to jail. No. In game here we say the truth. Whether Raila has joined hands with a thief or a murderer, we will call out William Samoei Ruto. William Samoei Ruto must go home.
Due to the ongoing abductions that is being run by criminal gangs in Kenya, after the Inspector General of Police, Douglas Kanja, said that the police are not involved in any abductions in Kenya. Do you think that it's high time that the people of Kenya arm themselves, even go for training to use ammunition? Listen to this.
This is Courage Diver back here. Now, it is not going to be business as usual. For any action, there will be a reaction. This government has come out saying that they are not liable for the abductions that are going on in this country. We don't want to tarnish your word, your name. You've been doing a good job protecting us as Kenyans and protecting Haiti. I want to tell you, Kenyans, this country now is being run by gangs and criminals. And we should not allow our brothers and sisters to be actually abducted by criminals and take them away incommunicado, we don't know, and then kill them and all those rubbish. Please, let's be our brother's keeper. Whenever you see someone who is trying or attempting to arrest someone forcibly, Kenyans, let's deal with these people. If you have a sufuria just next to you, mawe, kila kitu, tunawapiga kwa sababu wao ni magaidi. Naturally, I think now it's about time that Kenyans arm themselves. Because if now the police are not able to protect us, we should also be able to protect ourselves. Watu wapewe bunduki, mimi nimejitolea kuwafunza kutumia hizi bunduki. I've volunteered myself, I'll have a free training to train people to use their weapons.
Africa has really suffered in the hands of corrupt politicians, corrupt government officials for so many years. So many African puppets in our countries. What do you think should happen, or what action should you take against these African puppets? Listen to what Patrick Rules said.
So Kasongo of Kenya, also known as Zakayo, President William Ruto, the supposed head of state of Kenya, Nairobi, is out here allowing his people, his loyalists are going the extra mile. They're doing the criminal thing of abducting people now. Because the Kenyans are out here crying. The Kenyans are out here complaining. They are saying, Patrick Rules, please speak about the abductions in Kenya. We're being abducted. You said upwards of how many now?
Upwards of 80 since the financial bill protest.
Since the financial bill protest, about 80 people have been abducted in Kenya.
Yeah.
What are we going to do about this puppet? What are we going to do? Because these African puppets are actually playing with fire. These puppets are playing with fire. You understand what I'm saying? They are. Because if we really get mad out here, we're not going to give a crap about any freaking law system there. If the people really get mad, if the Gen Zs get mad like they did before, you remember when they stormed that freaking State House and they started causing some chaos there, and then he came out here quickly and withdrew the financial bill quick. He got real scared, real fast.
Yeah.
Understand?
Yes.
But now, they're still abducting people there. They're still doing it. He doesn't learn this one. They don't learn.
He's a hard-headed Ruto, really.
This Ruto must just go. This Zakayo Kasongo must go. Kasongo, we don't want you anymore. And let's tell you something else. It's not just the Kenyans who don't want you, Kasongo. Even the Congolese, the Nigerians, everybody, the Ethiopians, every African person here doesn't want Kasongo. You puppets of Africa, you must put it in your upstairs now.
It seems like the Gen Zs and millennials have shaken the government to its core, have shaken the government to its knees. President William Ruto, he came out lecturing parents, telling them that the government cannot raise your children. Let's listen to this lecture.
The government of Kenya cannot preach to our children. They cannot teach our children the word of God. They cannot teach our children what is good for them. Let me also say, the government of Kenya cannot parent your children. Every parent must do their job. Every parent must look after their children. So we must stop the blame game. The church wants to blame the government. Parents want to blame the government for things that they are supposed to do. I want to ask every parent, please look after your children, teach your children, mentor your children, have time for your children as a parent. The government cannot be a parent to your children.
So do you agree with what the president has said? But don't forget that those children, those same children are also the taxpayers in this country. And of course, they have all the right to express their views and opinions and also challenge the government, which is also supported in the Kenyan constitution.
The government of Kenya cannot parent your children. Every parent must do their job.
After the president went on to lecture parents on how they should be raising their children, one millennial decided to inject and said to clap back, and this is what he said.
Guys, niliwaambia huyu jamaa mimi amenichokesha. Sijui kama mmechikia video huyo jamaa amechukuliwa South B. Mabuda. Wazazi, nyinyi mapasi, imam. Mazee, mnafikiri hii kitu inaenda kuisha saa hii? Huyu jamaa nimemwambia Kasongo ametuamulia. Na tusipomwamulia, my friends, we will suffer till the end. Na nimewaambia hakuna matumaini ati huyu jamaa atabadilika. Huyu jamaa alituambia hapangwingwi, and he meant it. Huyu jamaa ni jamaa atambui. Unless it worked, kata turamba. Mabuda, ni wakati tuamue na tutenge siku. Hata kama ni wiki, huyu jamaa asonge akisonganga. Otherwise sisi hatuna future hapa hivi na hatuna matumaini. Kasongo anafaa aende. Na anafaa aende. Otherwise tukimpea dakika zingine 2-3 hivi, huyu jamaa atakuwa kama Museveni. Huyu jamaa atatufinya na atacollaborate. Na uniona hata akisema sijui atamaliza abduction. Alikuwa na nani? Alikuwa na Raila. This guy is, his audacity is of another level. Anadanganya waziwazi. Empty promises.
So Kenyans, are we being governed or led by a failed and collapsed state? Like, I don't want to talk much about this, but I will let Tony Gachoka explain to us more further. Listen to what he had to say.
The national outcry surrounding the rise of abductions in Kenya mirror a collapse of the state because of criminal activity and lawlessness. This nation is currently facing a crisis that has been precipitated by the ganging up of the political class, President William Ruto, Prime Minister Raila Odinga, Uhuru Kenyatta, all of them coming together to form political alliances and groupings that are completely destroying this country in order to defeat any democratic expression, to destroy the multi-party state, and to destroy the will or the rights of citizens as enshrined under the Bill of Rights. From criminal activity in corruption and money deals, the collapse of the health service, the collapse of the university models, what the bishops of the churches have called a country led by a president of lies, is making Kenya ungovernable, a country that is now being taken over by police and criminal gangs. Gangs that even if have any criminal intention, the public don't trust the state. So any word coming from the state or the police is not believable. We must call Kenya a failed state, a country that is falling by destroying and disregarding its constitutional order, that no institution in this country seems to be free of the greed of the politicians. We do not have the IBC. We do not have the police force. Even the army in Kenya is deployed as though this was a military state. The young children of this nation are murdered with no recourse and no justice. This is the worst regime that we've had since the history of Kenya, a regime that will always be described in history as a failed state that is soon becoming a criminal, if not a police state. My name is Tony Gashoka, and I'm telling William Ruto, I'm telling Uhuru Kenyatta, and I'm telling Raila Odinga, you may gang up together in the short term. But as Martin Luther King Jr. said, the moral arc of history may be long, but it always bends towards justice.
What happened to the right and freedom of speech? The freedom to express yourself in any way you want. What happened to that freedom? Like these days, if you just express yourself or give out your views or criticize the government or criticize any politician in the government, you get abducted, you get arrested, and you get threatened. Just listen to what Big Bad Ogre had to say about this kind of situation.
Ati apparently ukiposti hizi picha unakuwa abducted, unapotezwa, gawa inapita na wewe. Subaru boys hata si watumii Subaru, wanatumia Probox. Probox boys wanakugadha, wanakutafuta, wanakushika na wanakupeleka mahali wanakupeleka. Christmas utakula na familia yako bro, yako inaisha hivyo bana. Na mimi tunataka kujua what's so wrong with these pictures? Ni nini mbaya na hizi picha? Mtu anieleze, na mbona watu wakiposti hizi picture wanakuwa abducted? Help me understand. All in all, let's stop abductions. Ni kama ni nyinyi mna abduct watu. Apparently si makarao wana abduct watu. Sawa to stay safe. Na pengine unaona ki abduction inakufanyika nuko within the midst. So jaribu tu kusimamisha, jaribu hata kupiga nduru, jaribu hata kwenda uvute huo mse, jaribu kusaidia. Usikae hapo hivyo alafu next thing ndio umeshinda na tu hashtag. Nika kila mtu anataka tukuanzisha hashtag yake. Simama kwa vita. Tatu one video kijaribu kupigania mtu, kijaribu kuprotect mtu. Tuachane hizo za hashtag mingi bro. Let's take action.
During former president of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta's time, he was also being criticized by Kenyans. People are injecting every day, but he took it like a shot of tequila. Not unlike our current president, William Samoei Ruto, also known as Kasongo, Nabale Nangai. And at that time of Uhuru Kenyatta's time, they wanted to pass a law in court which prohibits Kenyans to speak their minds, but that was unconstitutional. Just listen to how the former president of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, narrates this story.
You know, I found it very interesting. I saw you were very angry today, especially with one group in our society called bloggers. You know, and I remember there was a time, you know, we wanted to pass a law to stop these people from insulting all of us left, right, and center. But then, you know, it was taken to court, and the court decided it was unconstitutional. So just like the rest of us, get used to it, because you'll have to just get used to it. There's not much else we can do. We just move on.
Unlike our former president of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, our current president of Kenya, William Samoei Ruto, very, very insecure. Like if you post anything online or just speak your mind, and which is also approved by the Constitution of Kenya, like you have a right of speech. But in this case, in the situation of Kenya today, like if you post anything, you get abducted. So how do we deal with these abductors? Listen to this.
Right now, with the high rate of youth abduction that is happening, ukiona kwa area yenyu kuna gari inakaa kiberiti, ukiona kuna gari inakaa ni kama haikai, hii gari haikuangi hapa. Ukiona watu wanne wamevaa puff jacket, wamevaa makofia, wanatafuta mtu. Ukiona wameshika mtu, piga nduru. Piga nduru, because I tell you this, the president is so scared that the youth hold power and the youth are going to do anything to take him out. So that's why he is abducting people and young men. So please, ukiona mtu anashikwa, Like piga nduru.
The Kenyan youths are tired. The Kenyan people are tired under this current regime. So, what should be the resolution? Like, despite all the abductions that is happening, people are still coming out and speaking up. Like this young man. Let's listen to what he had to say.
History ya Kasongo mnaisikiaje? Kasongo na serikali yake imeamua ni kutunyamazisha na kutuabduct. Wengine wetu hatunanga uoga. Maisha imetuchapa hadi tumelose hope na maisha. So mimi hata wakinikujia, watakuwa wamenifanya favor ni aje? Waniondoe kwa hii mashida ya Kenya. Joe, Kasongo unafaa ujue wewe umetuchokesha. Umefanya hata wengine wetu dreams ziko almost kuisha. Yaani mzee hata amechoka kuota juu hakuna future mazee. As long as uko kwa hiyo kiti hakuna future hii Kenya. So mimi naweza sema hivi Mamorio Mabda, this time manze, situamue tu kusongesha huyu jamaa once and for all manze. Tujipe tu kazawadi kazuri yani hii mwaka ikiisha. Tukue tuna ka resolution tu kamoja kakuondoa huyu jamaa. Huyu ni fala kasia matako takataka. Yani mimi naonanga Kasongo siku hizi. Makiu mimi nilimvotianga guy. Nakula ujeuri yangu. Niliua dream yangu kumbe kitambo.
So do you think that currently the government of Kenya can instill fear on the Gen Zs, on the young people of Kenya? I don't think so. Even despite the president going around lecturing parents on how they should be raising their kids, they should be raising their Gen Zs and the millennials, but people are still injecting. Just listen to what the villager 254 had to say about this.
Yesterday, President Ichung'wa, Junet Mohammed, everyone was lecturing the parents that parents should take care of their children. One thing is coming out very clearly, and this is what is coming out. Ruto and the entire government of Kenya Kwanza, they want the parents to instill fear in their young men and women because they have been unable to tame the Gen Zs. They are throwing the burden to the parents, and the only way to scare the parents so that parents in a way scares their children is to abduct some of them. This is not working. Dear Mr. President, I'm a father of grown-up children. And I can tell you for a fact, there is nothing that my 24-year-old will listen from me. There is nothing. I'll tell him. It's she. I'll tell her and listen to me. I can't sell fear to a Gen Z. One of the most difficult things to do is to sell fear to a Gen Z. They do not accept it. They don't know what is that. They don't, they ignore you completely. They don't actually even take you serious when you start to scare them. You cannot scare them. The Gen Zs cannot be scared. Unfortunately, the Gen Zs cannot be scared. And these are the facts, Mr. President. You can't scare a Gen Z. Now, what can you do? If you cannot scare a Gen Z, what can you do? Simple. Give the Gen Z what they are asking for. They are asking for good governance. They are asking that the government stops corruption. They are asking for good hospitals where they can go and find medicine. They are asking for a good Kenya where everyone has an opportunity to succeed.
In that case, would you like me to give you one good reason why you should be not messing with the young people of Kenya? Why you should not be messing with the Gen Z? Take a look at this.
So, in the afternoon, we were asking, Abel ni nani? And everybody was asking, uyu Abel amesemekana yeye ndio anaorganize these abductions ni nani? 2 hours later, people have already pieced the dots together. Washaanza kumlink na mtu fulani. If you don't know the news, just go to Twitter, my friend. What washajua Abel nani? And I got me thinking. Abel Mutua must have been somewhere thinking like, hey, Hey, makosa ni yangu. But seriously, don't mess with Gen Z. Literally just one hint, washajua Abel ni nani.
It seems like those abductors are not really getting the message, since the Inspector General of Police, Douglas Kanja, said that they are not involved in any abductions in Kenya. Those abductors currently are seen as criminals, as goons. And let me tell you, people are very creative on how they should be dealt with. Just listen to this.
Kutoka leo nimeona wananchi wamesema ati wakiona watu wana abduct mtu wana deal na wao hapo hapo. Hakuna maneno ya kungoja kesho. Si polisi wamesema sio wao, na wamesema hawajui ni nani anafanya hiyo maneno. Pia wao wanatafuta nani anafanya hiyo abductions. Kumaanisha the people who are doing it are criminals, kidnappers, killers and terrorists who should be dealt with utmost ruthlessness by the public there and then. Hakuna maneno ya kungoja kesho. Nimeona watu wamesema ati if the police cannot protect us, then we must protect ourselves. Hii maneno ya kuchukua video alafu tunasema free who. Watu wamekataa. Wamekataa. Unasema free who, polisi wanasema sio wao wako na yeye. Sasa it is not going to be business as usual. It is going to be business unusual.
So in that case, are you ready for the End Abduction Monday protests? If yes, then take a look at some of these videos which took place on Monday, where people went to protest against the illegal and unconstitutional abductions that has been taking place in Kenya.
Dear Kenyans, on Monday we are finishing what we started. On Monday is the day with our destiny. Monday.
Ona hasa imerushwa kwa gari. Hapa wasikuwekee hapa. Anatupa hapo. Wewe ni TikToker tu. Wewe ni TikToker.
Kio ifanyi mkubwa. Kio ifanyi.
Nani yako hapa?
Sisi.
Sisi. Sasa nyinyi mko under arrest. Umefunga umezima? Zima gani? Zima. Nani yako hapa? Sasa nyinyi mbona mnatepesa hizi na mnajua kazi ni mbaya? Sasa you are under arrest.
Nyinyi ni watu gani?
Si nyinyi ni nani? Shuka.
Kuja kapata mtu akakupigu. Mara moja.
Nataka kuona vile watafanya. Watu wa India wameona hii.
Wow. Hata askari wameshindwa wamfanyie nini? Ona wameshindwa wamfanyie nini?
Mbona ametisha?
There's nothing wrong he's doing. He just has a black flag. He's protesting peacefully. Unaona hata askari wameshindwa. All cameras are on them. Wanataka kuona ni nini wanataka kumfanyia.
Record there. Thank you baby girl. Record for them. Hata kama ni live.
Hawaja watakuja hapa.
Umadha ameshutiwa mguu bana. Hapo hakuna tear gas bwana. Hapo hakuna tear gas. Hapo hakuna tear gas kabisa. Hapo hakuna tear gas.
We are asking for peace, nothing else but peace. You are our sons, you are our brothers. We also have uncles here, and we pray that we have peace. We are here to say, end these abductions. We say end police brutality. We are our comrades. Let our children be peaceful. You are also our children. You are our brothers. We also have uncles in the police force. Please, we beg, I am on my knees begging you to end this brutality. I am begging. Na waomba, na wasi polisi wetu, hata nyinyi ni watoto wetu. Lale lale vijana usilale, bado mapambano, 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 bado mapambano, 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 bado mapambano, mapambano usilale.
Kukomboa nchi, sasa natoa roho yangu, iende kukomboa nchi, sasa natoa roho yangu, iende kukomboa nchi.
Mkatae hata msikatae, najua RIP means Ruto is president next year but one, hiyo next year but two, bado atakuwa president. So RIP means Ruto is president next year but one up to 2027. Mpende msipende, mnichukie msinichukie, bado Ruto will be RIP, which Ruto will be president. Unanielewa? Ruto is president whether you like it or not. Mpenda mjinyonge.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. I'm your host, Elvis Derry. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
We are coming for you.
From Kibet Bull comeback.
Kwa majina naitwa Gideon Kibet, kwa Twitter najulikana kama Yoko or Kibet Bull.
To Billy Mwangi's ex account hacked.
I'm not in Twitter. Yangu ilikuwa hacked na simu walichukua.
Who is working with the goons?
Watu walitokea nyuma kwa mlango wa the hall.
Freedom of expression in Kenya.
There is no law that exists that says you cannot insult a leader.
We are coming for you.
Hello, how are you? Welcome back to ShowNewTrend. I'm your today and my name is Elvis Derry. Kibet Bull, a comrade who has been very vocal on social media, challenging the government and fighting for better governance in this country. He was abducted and later on released. After his release, he came out and thanked all those Kenyans who stood by him and pushed for his release. Let's listen to what Kibet Bull had to say.
Kwa majina naitwa Gideon Kibet, kwa Twitter najulikana kama Yoko or Kibet Bull. So nilikuwa nataka ni confirmie Kenyans kuwa niko safe na nimefika nyumbani salama. So na niliweza kudropiwa at first, sikuwa nikijua ni wapi. So kidogo nikaenda mbele nikapata ni Luanda. Hapo Luanda nikatafuta mahali pa kukaa for safety mpaka ifika asubuhi ili nisafiri nyumbani.
Pengine ulidropiwa saa ngapi?
Hivi ilikuwa saa 9 to saa 10.
Wakenya wengi?
Hiyo tweet ilikuwa yangu. Nilikuwa nikitaka ni confirm kuwa to Kenyans that I'm safe.
Pengine hali yako iko aje?
No, sina majeraha yoyote kwa mwili. Maybe uchofu tu. Kwanza nataka nishukuru kila mtu wa Twitter mwenye alipush hashtag or anything. I will fanya to anything to make sure all the abducted guys walitolewa. Asante sana. Nawashukuru Kenyans. Ronnie tumeongea na yeye ako Nairobi na ako salama sana. Wako na marafiki. Abduction is real. I can confirm that. Then mimi naaji tu serikali kukuwe na freedom of speech. Or watumie mikakati poa kama kupeleka mtu kotini.
Another comrade by the name of Billy Mwangi, who was also abducted and later on released, he came out and said that his ex account, formerly known as Twitter, was hacked and currently he's not the one who is posting. Let's listen to what Billy Mwangi had to say.
Hi guys.
Hi guys. This is
hiyo kofia unaweza toa ndio wakuone vizuri ama iangalie nyuma. Walikufanya ile kitu.
Niliondolewa. So this is Billy Mwangi, the abducted guy, Psycho Sins, and those guys who are using my Twitter accounts huko parodies, they are not me. I'm not in Twitter. Yangu ilikuwa hacked na simu walichukua. So in case of anything, I'll update you guys in due course. Thank you.
So this is Billy. That is not Billy who is tweeting, guys. Okay? Guys, hebu ambia watu wa Twitter wamekutetea sana manze.
Watu wa Twitter nawapenda sana manze. Mbogi yangu ya Twitter, mbogi ya watu wa Nairobi, watu wa Embu. Thank you so much. Hata kama walinifanya ile kitu kwa kichwa, I'm back, I'm healthy na pona kidogo, though mentally bado niko na shida, but I'll be fine. Thank you so much.
Great, good to see you, Billy.
Thank you so much.
After all these unconstitutional abductions in Kenya, the tourism fund boss, Silas Ochim, he came out and said that Senator Okiya Omtatah was hiding Kibet Bull in a hotel. Is this true? Listen to what he had to say.
Sio wanasema ati vijana walipotea. Walipotea saa ngapi na wanaenda kuficha vijana na kukula chapati huko ndani ya hoteli. Mnachoi inaitwa Bull Kibet. Mkiwa yule Bull Kibet. Mwenye alipotosha yeye ni Okiya Omtatah na Omtatah leta Kibet. Omtatah produce Bull Kibet. Kwa nini? Siku Kibet alipotea, alienda kwa ofisi ya Omtatah. Si alienda kwa ofisi ya Omtatah. Wakaongea. Alafu Omtatah baadaye akasema tulikuwa na Kibet. Watu askari wakapiga simu kwamba kuna watu. Kama Omtatah alijua kuna watu wanangoja Kibet huko nje, kwa nini Omtatah hakumchunga Kibet na kuweka gari yake?
While Billy Mwangi and Kibet Bull are back home safe and sound, a mother from Vihiga, she is still in tears looking for her son who was abducted by unknown people on November 29th, 2024. Let's listen to how she narrates her story.
Mimi majina yangu ni Mary John Osita. Mtoto wangu alichukuliwa tarehe 23 Novemba. Na alijakiwa na watu wenye waeleweki ni watu gani. Sasa nimetafuta kwa mapolisi yote. Nimeenda Luanda, nimeenda Mbale. Hawaniambii penye mtoto wangu wako. Nimelia, sipati majibu ya mtoto wangu. Sasa nataka serikali nisaidie, walipeleka wapi mtoto wangu? Mimi mtoto wangu bado sijamuona. Na nimelia, bado nalia. Nataka serikali nisaidie. Kama alifanya makosa, wamfungulie mashtaka, wampeleke kotini. Wamfunge badala ya kumtesa. Nataka mtoto wangu. Anaitwa Jojo Kwaro. Jina ingine Kapedo. Na alipotea 23 November. Walichukua saa 10 ya jioni. Sasa sijui walimpeleka wapi.
Walimchukulia wapi?
Walimchukulia Mwibona kwa stage ya pikipiki. Nimeenda police station ya Luanda, wananiambia hawajui chochote. Wananituma Mbale. Nimeenda DCI ya Mbale, wananituma Luanda wananituma DCI ya Mbale. Sasa sijui wanipeleka wapi mtoto wangu. Na bado mimi nalia.
What a sad state to live in. Justice Andrew Mamuye, he swore to jail the Inspector General of Police, Douglas Kanja, and DCI Amin over failures to attend court cases against abductions in Kenya. Just take a look at this.
So I'm going to do something I do not do ordinarily. I will place the question of contempt to one side. Because I firmly believe all of us in this room, our first priority is to secure the 7th petitioner applicant. I've heard Mr. Nyamodi. I've heard you, Mr. Nyamodi. Certainly there needs to be investigations. But this is not a matter for 14 days. What I'd want to hear from Council is a proposal, not from Mr. Nyamodi, from the rest. I'll begin with Senior Counsel. What is practical in terms of a return date that gives the second and third respondents in particular the opportunity to take statements and to return, such that when the Inspector General of Police is returning before me for hearing, not a mention, for hearing, they'd have had an opportunity. And so that I make it clear, so that when you are giving your responses, there can be no doubt, if the Inspector General of Police misses on that third hearing date, I will go with option 1. I will cite, convict, and sentence on the spot. With respect to the Director, DCI, I will convict and invite him for mitigation and sentencing. There will be no further opportunities beyond this next hearing date.
Meanwhile, in Nairobi, Governor Sakaja has launched a 1.2 billion garbage collection trucks. Take a look.
Wangapi walikuwa binami mbeleni na saizi ni madereva? Hiyo transition mnaonaje, ni mzuri?
Mzuri sana. Sana.
Mungu ni mso.
Kabisa.
I have a lot of faith in you. Iko na imani kubwa sana kwenu. But I want you to take your work seriously. Please take your work seriously. Hii machine yenye unatumia ama unaendesha ni jasho ya watu wa Nairobi. It is a sweat of taxpayers. Ndio umetuwezesha kununua hizi magari. Tafadhali chunga gari yako. Please take care of your vehicle. You will be responsible for it. If there's any issue, you know how you're supposed to report here. Sio? How many promise mtachunga magari? Na wale wengine ambao mko kwa crew, simko ina team of how many 3? Mchungane. Na madereva mfunze wengine pia kazi. Because I'm going to buy more and more of this. Tanua zingine hata 50. Ndio hiyo. Because we want to clean our city. Nairobi lazima ing'are. Na hii ni mwaka ya usafi.
But it seems like not all Kenyans are in support of Governor Sakaja.
Ambia hii chokora. Ambia hii chokora. Hatutaki maji yako. Chokora. Hatutaki maji yako. Chokora. Chokora. Hatutaki maji yako. Chokora. Umbwa. Taka ghasia. Hatutaki kura zako, peleka ushoga nyumbani. Takataka ghasia. peleka ushoga nyumbani. Nimekwambia nikujie, peleka ushoga nyumbani. Wewe ni shoga, una na Zakayo. Kuja unishike blood funda wewe.
Criticizing the government and holding politicians accountable is not disrespect, but it is exercising your constitutional rights as a Kenyan. One content creator by the name of Peace Louis, she came out and drew parallels between politicians' entitlement and Generation Boomers' constant demand for respect. Listen to what she had to say.
Why are we shocked that the politicians are asking us and demanding that we respect them? This is typical behavior of our parents, boomers. Boomers, our parents, how they beat us, they abuse us, they mistreat us, they treat us like we're not even their children. And then once you start lashing back, once you start reacting to the abuse, they are there demanding and saying, do you know I'm your parent? Nilikuza. You should be respecting me. I'm your parent. I give birth to you. I am educating you. You have a roof over your head because of me. Boomers are what is wrong with this country.
So Kenyans, if you ask yourselves, what is the meaning of freedom of expression? This is the power or right to express one's opinion without censorship, restraint, or legal penalty. So if you ask yourselves, why are Gen Zs being abducted but not arrested? They are being abducted because there is no law they can be charged under. Listen to what a Kenyan member of the Senate, Edwin Sifuna, had to say about this.
The reason why they are abducting these young people is because there is no law that exists that says you cannot insult a leader. There is no law that says that you cannot insult the president. In fact, our High Court has already said that the freedom of expression extends to insults. The freedom of expression does not mean I have to be nice to you. It doesn't mean that I am forced to say things that you want to hear. Freedom of expression means I have to speak the way I see things. And instead of them addressing, why are Kenyans so angry? How did we get here? Because after the president was elected in 2022, by all accounts, William Ruto was one of the most popular politicians in the country. What did he do in the intervening period to lead to a place where he's being insulted left, right, and center? Instead of addressing those questions, the cause, they are addressing the symptoms.
In that case, fellow Gen Zs, continue exercising your freedom of expression in your own country. Instead of the government creating job opportunities in Kenya, they're busy selling our own people in foreign countries. And some of them are living in very inhumane conditions. Like Rose, who her boss liked to beat her, but thankfully she was rescued. Let's take a look at how her life was in the Gulf. In Kamkuywa, an MC by the name of Abraham Kamungwi was hospitalized with suspected gunshot wounds. Like Kenyans, where are we heading to as a country? Just take a look at this story.
Mwendo wa saa 9 vile nduku anasema, nilipita hapa nikaona hiyo gari. Nikauliza nduku, hii gari imebeba nini? Ndugu yangu akaniambia hii gari ni kama wamekuja hapa wakafika kwa hii kona. Akasema hii barabara ni ndogo. Sasa wacha tusimamishe hii gari, halafu tuende tujaribu kuangalia tunaweza pita na njia gani. Baadaye kufika jioni masaa ya saa 1, magari kaingia kwa kuwa hii gari imepepa msiko ambaye haustahili. Na sisi hatukuchua hii gari imepepa msiko gani. Ndipo magari ilipoingia kwa hii boma, watu wakuja wakajaa, tukajaribu kujua ni nini inaendelea. Ndugu wangu akachukuliwa akawekwa kwa gari. Akakaa hapo kwa Land Rover karibu masaa 3-4. Kufikia mwendo wa saa 3 usiku, tukaona watu wakiingia kwa hii boma. Tukaanza kujiuliza ni nani hawa? Tukajulikana kuwa ni Obama amekuja kuona hii gari yake. Walipoingia hapa muda usio mrefu, tukaanza kusikia mlio wa marisasi. Hatukuchua nini inaendelea, na kila mtu tukapaki na mshangao. Ndivyo tunavyosikia hii asubuhi hii kuwa yule alipigwa risasi ni MCA Obama.
In that commotion, the MCA got injured with a sharp object, which is yet to be confirmed because the investigation have started. Otherwise, he was brought to Bungoma where he received the treatment and later referred to Eldoret for further management.
Kenyans, do you think that it is high time for government bloggers to be banned from using social media because what all they do is just post nonsense? They post garbage. This is what this young Gen Z had to say.
If by now you're following any government blogger. It's like you're a puppet of neo-colonialism. Because tell me why I would wake up every day seeing some stupid narratives that don't have even basis. Or kina Pauline Njoroge, kina David D, kina Alai. You should have blocked and muted all those people. Sisi ndo tunawapea a chance. Kwanza saya asubuhi wameniudhi sana. At those who were abducted. They were abducted to donate organs. You think we are stupid? Then the other days you said it's Gachagua. Kwanza Sudi. Why do you follow Sudi seriously? Why? Manzia waseu ni sinya. Block them. Wakule mablock. Mbona mnawapea audience wa spread ufala? Wacha wabaki huko wakifuatana wenyewe wa spreadingi rumors zao. That's why they trend. Msikuwe wajinga pia.
CBC education system is being forced upon our children. Even the president of Kenya, I don't think if he really understands what CBC is. Governor George Natembea, he went for the government's neck over the shambolic education system that is forced upon our children. Just listen to what the governor had to say.
Now, kuna jambo ambalo ningependa pia Wakenya kabisa msimame na muongee na mheshimiwa hapa MCA amesema. Maneno ya elimu ya Kenya saizi basic education. Hii mambo ya CBC. Ukiangalia CBC mimi mwenyewe sielewi CBC. I don't know. Na nimeuliza walimu hawaelewi CBC. Mzazi haelewi CBC. Ministry haelewi CBC. Hata ukiona president haelewi, maana ameweka task force waangalie mambo ya CBC. We are wasting the future of our children. Na hii nakani watu walikaa mahali wakapanga njama. Maana elimu ndiyo ina equalize mambo. Mimi bila elimu singekuwa nimesimama hapa. Ni elimu na kuinua mtoto maskini, mtoto tajiri mnakuja kukutana mahali kwa sababu ya nini? Elimu. Utakuaje na education system ambayo haijulikani mahali popote? Hata sio wengine walifanya mtihani, results zikatolewa, hata hakuna mtu anajua kama zilikuwa release. Ilikuwa class 6 ama class gani? Ilitolewa, hakuna mtu anajua. Atunaambia tu below expectation, exceeding expectation. Sijua bate. Sasa kila mtu amepita, hakuna mwenye ameanguka. Sasa watoto wanaenda shule kwenda kucheza tu, maana hakuna mtihani, hakuna nini. Hii kitu inafanyika wapi dunia hii? Watu hawache mchezo. We need to get very serious. Hata wakati wanasema basic education is free, at elimu ya msingi kuanzia class 1 mpaka form 4 wanasema ni free. Mpaka sasa hivi hakuna capitation. Hakuna pesa imekuja kwa shule. Watoto wa day school wako nyumbani hawajalipia 22,000 na haijalipwa.
Moi Hospital, which is in Voi, Taita Taveta County, is a crime scene. Like, I was just shocked to hear what is really happening behind those walls. Just listen to what this man of God had to say.
Juzi tumeenda huko Moi Hospital, tukasikitika sana. Nikauliza County Assembly, mnafanya nini wakati watu wanaumia namna hii? Mikono yenu inafanya nini wakati watu wanapata tabu namna hii? Watu wameenda hospitali, hakuna bed sheets. Yaani uje na bed sheet yako kutoka nyumbani. Yaani hospitali imekuwa namna gani? Mikono ya county imekuwa wapi? Wagonjwa wanalala bila net. Kama uleti net yako, basi utaumia. Tuna mikono ya serikali ambayo mikono hiyo inajinufaisha, inajifurahisha, na wanasahau mikono hiyo ni ya kujitolea kwa ajili ya watu.
While the man of God was injecting and revealing the truth to Kenyans about Moi Hospital in Voi, Taita Taveta County, another Kenyan man was shocked to find 12 churches in his village. Just take a look.
How do you know a town is dead? By the number of churches it has. Here is the first church, the PCA Kagumo, and then boom, the second church. This is a Marwa Baptism Church. There is our that church, right there. 10 meters away there is another church. What's special about this church? They don't wear shoes inside the church. Fifth church is literally a walking distance away. It's 40 meters from this church over here. Sixth church, the seventh church, number 8 is close to church number 9. right here. This church is literally 10 meters away from the Voice of Salvation Church. Church number 11, 3 meters from church number 12.
In Bungoma County, young vibrant leaders are being attacked by goons anytime they host the events, thankfully sponsored by some politicians, some crooked and corrupt politicians in Kenya. And why are these young vibrant leaders being attacked? Let's listen to how they narrate their story.
Comrades, power. I'm very disappointed today. I'm the outgoing chairperson of the East Tertiary Student Association, abbreviated as WETSA. Leo tumekuwa na meeting successful sana. Tumekuwa tumefanya mambo yote yameisha, lakini as soon as tulikuwa tumemaliza elections, tukadeclare the winner ambaye yuko kando yangu, Brian British, pamoja na vice wake Shelly Nekesa. Watu walitokea nyuma kwa mlango wa the halls ambao wametumwa na member of parliament, kwa sababu we have an evidence and I want to tell the public and I'm clear. We have a screenshot of one Terence Itati ambaye alisema kwamba tuone kama huo mkutano utafanyika kesho. And if even the police wants an evidence, I will give them. Alipost pia kwa group yetu, now we have that evidence. Kwa hivyo our member of parliament should come out clearly. We elected you to serve us. Hatukuelect kuja kutua na kutudunga visu. As we are talking right now, watu wa hospitali, they are injured, wametungwa visu. And I want to ask the Tajoni leaders, tafadhali, the Tajoni elders, tafadhali, you must condemn this. And this member of parliament anafaa kuwa punished even from this community. He is not even a member of our community. I'm calling out Bwana Lichuma, I'm calling out Sewekesa. Please, this is not our person. Atoke arudi na baholo. Power.
When President William Ruto was campaigning, he portrayed himself to the world as a Pan-Africanist. But it seems like he got lost along the way. When he went to Ghana for the inauguration ceremony of President John Mahama, Captain Ibrahim Traoré from Burkina Faso, that is the president of the transition of Burkina Faso, called him out. Just listen to this.
Okay, I don't know if you guys have seen that video of Ibrahim Traoré calling out Jambazi. I think he's actually my favorite current world leader. Okay, he was basically saying, you're saying we're not a democratic country, and the democratic countries I'm seeing are abducting and killing innocent protesters. Straight fucking facts. Okay, Burkina Faso, and let's even if we focus on Burkina Faso for a bit, ever since they had their coup and Traoré became their leader, they have paid, I think I was seeing figures like 4-5 billion USD in debt. I mean, that's insane. You know, people like cocksuckers were WEF and UN, like Akina Jambazi, when they say they are cutting ties with the West, they are told sanctions. They panic. Dollars, those green papers we won't give big. Hey, it's gonna be tough. Jambazi has completely. The last 6 months have been hell for Jambazi, because he has gone from being this pillar of Pan-Africanism, you know, Bonoko fake ass titles that hold no water or no meaning, to being some common rogue thug who's just stealing money from his citizen. He doesn't even have anywhere else to steal money from.
Since freedom of expression is upheld under Article 33 in the Kenya Constitution, take a look at this video of Nyandarua Senator Methu imitating the Kenyan President William Ruto.
Kutoka hapa Shamata kwenda mpaka kaka ilishia mpaka huko Kariamu, ilikuwa imekwama. Nimetafuta bilioni 2.5 ya barabara itaanza. Iko barabara yetu ya kuanza hapa Sharp Road, ikuja mpaka Gieterero, ikuja hapa Kashisi, kama tunaelewana watu ya Shamata. Watu ya Shamata siku nyingi wameteseka. Iko shida ya maji imekuwa hapa. Kuna demu yetu inaitwa Pesi, ilikuwa imekwama pale kwa Ministry ya Finance. Tangia nilipoenda huko wilaya, nimetafuta pesa shilingi bilioni 2, na hiyo damu yenu itaanza, na ikifikia mwezi ujao mtaona hiyo damu ikiendelea. Iko maji yetu ya kutoka sijui kama tunaelewana watu ya Shamata. Iko maji yetu ya mahali panaitwa Kilima, ilikuwa imekwama, ilikuwa shida kidogo, imekwama kidogo. Nimetafuta shilingi milioni 600, na hiyo maji yenu ya Kilima itaanza. Watu ya hapa Nyandarua, nimesikiza maneno yenu. Nyinyi ni wakulima. Iko shida yenu, mnauza maziwa pesa kidogo. Nimeongea na gavana Badilisha huyu, wakiwa na Senator Medho huyu. Iko kura zinakuja ndani ya wiki 2. Iko kura 30 nitakuwa nimeleta hapa Nyandarua. Sisi kama tunaelewana watu ya Nyandarua. Watu ya hapa Shamata siku nyingi mimi najua mmekuwa mkiteseka kwa sababu ya nyumba. Mmekuwa mkiishi nje na kuanzia mwaka ujao nimetafuta pesa ya affordable housing. Nyinyi wote mtakuwa mnalala ndani, hamtakuwa mnalala msituni kama wanyama. Sisi kama tunalala na watu wa Shamata. Shamata oye.
Kenyans, if elections were held today, who do you think will win? Tom Ojeda was live on Citizen TV and he claimed that William Ruto will win the elections if it was held today by 100%. Listen to what he had to say.
If elections were held today, Trevor, President Ruto would get a second term. And both of them know that even as they speak, and he says that President Ruto should not run, President Ruto is the foremost candidate and will win a second term in this country. He is the leader to beat, he's the kind to beat.
While Tom Ojeda was making unusual claims on live TV, in Kajiado North, the ground was speaking a different language. Take a look.
Ati amutaki Ruto akuje? Asikuje kware? Amutaki Ruto? Amutaki Ruto? Nilete Gachagua? Wangapi wanasema nilete Gachagua? Ngojeni kidogo. Hiyo kura itapigwa vizuri. Wangapi wanasema nilete Ruto? Hebu wainue mkono tu. Ati amutaki? Hebu fanya hivi kama hutaki. Amutaki kabisa?
Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. I'm your host, Elvis Derry. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
They're coming for you.
From Ghana's new president, John Mahama.
As the new president of the Republic of Ghana, history is being made once again.
To Kenya's President Ruto's arrival. Will there be change in Ghana?
Do in the name of the Almighty God swear.
So help me God.
Nana Akufo-Addo injected.
They're coming for you.
Hello, how are you? 87 Ghanaians. Medinde Elvis Derry, Akwaba, ShowNewTrend. Recently, Ghana has been making headlines after a new president was sworn in by the name of John Mahama and a new vice president by the name of Jane Nana Opoku Agyemang. And today I'm going to be sharing you guys what really happened during that day of the inauguration, which also took place at Ghana's capital city, Accra, at the Independence Square, which was also built by the first president of Ghana, Kwame Nkrumah, in 1961. Before the inauguration ceremony, President-elect John Mahama went to tour in Jubilee House, even meeting the former president of Ghana, Nana Akufo-Addo.
Has to vacate these premises the day before, so the whole place is ready for your occupation, both here and the office. But I thought that it was important that we should do this formality for the country to see that the whole process of the transition is working according to the letter and spirit of the law, and that we're now ready for your administration to take over the affairs of the country.
Just take a look at Ghana's Vice President, Jane Nana Opoku-Agyemang, who took office on 7th January 2025 under President John Mahama, also making her the first female Vice President of Ghana, arrived at the inauguration ceremony which took place in Accra, Ghana. Take a look. After all the guests arrived at Ghana's Independence Square, it was now time to swear in the new president-elect and the new vice president-elect. Just take a look at some of these scenes on how things went down.
Do in the name of the Almighty God swear that I will bear true faith and allegiance. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Republic of Ghana. To the Republic of Ghana. As by law established. As by law established. That I will uphold. That I will uphold. The sovereignty and integrity of Ghana. The sovereignty and integrity of Ghana. And that I will preserve. And that I will preserve. Protect. And defend. The Constitution. The Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. Of the Republic of Ghana. So help me God.
As the new president of the Republic of Ghana, history is being made once again. And it is a history worth repeating every 4 years with each newly elected president. Today, we're also making a different kind of history. One that speaks to our maturity as a democracy, a nation of citizens enfranchised with the authority at the polls to determine their political future.
Many of you have been asking, what does President John Mahama's outfit symbolize? Because there are so many symbols, different symbols, and also they have different meanings. So this picture right here, it shows you the meaning of those symbols that you see in the new president-elect's outfit. So you can freely pause the video and just take a look. The inauguration ceremony was successful, and Chale, let me tell you, many people came. People came from different parts of Ghana and different parts of the world to see, experience, and witness history being made at Ghana's Independence Square. Many prominent leaders were also there. They attended the inauguration ceremony in Ghana. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, president of the transition of Burkina Faso, was also there. Just take a look at how he arrived at Ghana's Independence Square.
After him, we have His Excellency Mamadi Doumbouya.
The full meaning of Burkina Faso means strong men and women of integrity.
Burkina Faso's 36-year-old president, Ibrahim Traoré, he saw the show at the inauguration ceremony in Ghana, where he managed to pull the crowd and he was the supporters' favorite. Take a look. Kenya's President William Ruto, also known as Kasongo, famously known for abductions in East Africa, Kenya, was also not left behind after he attended Ghana's inauguration ceremony in January 7th. Take a look.
We have His Excellency William Samoei Ruto, the rural boy, who is the President of the Republic of Kenya.
During the inauguration ceremony, President William Ruto was injected by Captain Ibrahim Traoré after Ibrahim Traoré urged the Kenyan president to immediately stop abducting young Gen Zs who are fighting for better governance in Kenya.
We've seen more terrible scenes where people kill their demonstrators, but they call themselves Democrats and we're called Persians. If that's democracy, I repeat, we don't want this democracy.
Before delving into the powerful speech recently delivered by Burkina Faso's revolutionary leader, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, it's equally critical to focus on another nation grappling with escalating political strife and societal unrest. Kenya, East Africa's economic powerhouse, finds itself in the throes of a dark chapter, marked by the unexplained disappearances of dozens of its citizens. Since June 2024, at least 82 Kenyans have vanished, with 6 cases reported in just the past 2 weeks.
It seems like during the inauguration ceremony, nobody was noticing the Kenyan president. Even one Ghanaian TikToker, he went on to compare President Ibrahim Traoré with other African presidents, including Kenyan President William Ruto. Just listen to what this Ghanaian TikToker had to say.
Difference between politicians and leaders. Politicians are liars while leaders tell the truth to their people. The example of that is that the Kenyan President William Ruto want to give the Kenyan airport to the Indian private company Adana, while you have competent Kenyans without no jobs, they can run those ones. That's why he is a liar, because he is not telling the Kenyan people the truth. And he is in fact very corrupt. If you go to Ghana, Nana Akufo-Addo, this man used $58 million just to build a foundation of a church. Humans, we can pray anywhere. God does not say that you need a church, in order to worship me. But this man did that while thousands of Ghanaians are suffering. If you go to Nigeria, we have Boko Haram, more than 160,000 people lost their lives. This man is not interested in that. Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This is how you know that they are politicians, greedy. They are not there for the people. This man, on the other hand, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, This man, before he will become the leader of Burkina Faso, 80% of the country were controlled by, or the territories were controlled by the terrorists in Burkina Faso. Now, they control 80% because he is a leader. He is willing to sacrifice his life for the people. These ones are playing with our lives. Difference number 2 is that politicians beg people to vote for them or to get them into office. They want their vote. They will have to beg people. On the other hand, leaders are begged by the people to go to the office to lead the people. And one example is that the next election, you will see whether Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself or his party, Nana Akufo-Addo, this man as well, William Ruto, they will be going all over Kenya to beg the people to vote for them. But Captain Ibrahim Traore, if you go to Burkina Faso today, people of Burkina Faso are begging him to stay in power, to lead the country. This is how you know that who is doing good and who is not, and who is there for the interest of the people and who is not. So these ones are not for the interest of the people. This one is a leader.
It is very clear that the president of the transition of Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traore, he was the most supported leader during Ghana's inauguration ceremony. This makes him the best leader in Africa. Just listen to this.
Where did you see the rousing welcome Burkina Faso's Captain Ibrahim Traore received during President John Mahama's inauguration on January 7th? The Burkina Faso leader, stood out as he arrived in full camouflage. The only leader allowed to carry a gun at the ceremony. Well, while most dignitaries wore suits or traditional attires, Traore's appearance drew attention and admiration from the crowd. A very interesting moment. What do you think?
While Captain Ibrahim Traore was getting some love and support from the people, the former president of Ghana, President Nana Akufo-Addo, was a different case. Let's take a look at how he was welcomed at the swearing-in ceremony. This clearly shows you that what the first president of Ghana, Kwame Nkrumah, said was right. He said that Ghanaians are very patient and gentle people, but if you take them for granted, they will also take you for granted. Hey, Charlie, things are Just listen to what President-elect John Mahama had to say after he met Captain Ibrahim Traore in Ghana.
You can also see how popular Mr. President is in Ghana. When he was introduced at the Black Star Square, he got the biggest applause. Thank you, my brother. Thank you very much. Yes.
So, if you ask yourself, what is so unique about Captain Ibrahim Traore, the president of the transition of Burkina Faso, what would you say? Just listen to this.
They try to take out Captain Traore, people. They try to take him out. I'm scared for his safety. I'm worried. There is no way that a president should be in office for only 2 years and have 18 attempts on his life. I actually have to start asking questions about the security services in Burkina Faso. I have to start asking questions about the other Sahel Alliance countries, Mali and Niger. What are you doing to make sure that this is not happening? Because it's not happening to you people. There's a reason why this keeps happening to Captain Traore. That's the reason why he must be protected. Because he's the driving force of what is happening with the liberation of West Africa and the Sahel region from neocolonialism. It's a fact. He's the man who's driving it with the master plan. And it rhymes. 18 times? That means that everybody's taking a shot.
Even Ghana's first daughter, Farida Mahama, she could not miss her dad's inauguration ceremony. Just take a look at this video of Sharaf and Farida Mahama arriving at Ghana's Independence Square. Take a look. The temperatures were rising at Ghana's Independence Square. The people of Ghana were excited to have a new leader and a new regime. even to the point where one journalist, she forgot her name on live TV.
Independence Square for the presidential inauguration and swearing in of the president-elect, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and the Vice President-elect, Jane Nana Ajaman. Thank you for watching. My name is Nanajwa.
My name is Nanajwa.
It's recorded, don't worry, it's recorded. We got.
Many celebrities were also present. One of them was Michael Blackson, a very popular comedian and actor from Ghana. Just take a look at how he was welcomed at Ghana's Independence Square.
I shall submit myself
To the laws of the Republic of Ghana.
to the laws of the Republic of Ghana
And suffer the penalty for it.
the penalty for it.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Many leaders and presidents attended the inauguration ceremony in Ghana, like Botswana's president, Duma Gideon Boko, Rwanda's president, Paul Kagame, and Nigeria's president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Nigerians, do you remember this? No matter how long you protest, we are going to remove subsidy.
No matter how long you protest, we are going to remove subsidy. That is the truth. That is the truth.
Hey, Oga, Abeg, that is the truth. That is the truth. Just take a look at how Nigeria's president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was welcomed at Ghana's Independence Square. At the inauguration ceremony, things were boiling, things were getting hot, and how hot were things getting? Just take a look at this video. Ghanaians, do you understand and know how rich your country is? Like, Ghana is so rich to the point where you can actually just pick gold from the ground. Like this young man that you see here.
What you have? I saw. No. Video.
A well-known Kenyan CNN journalist by the name of Larry Madowo, he traveled to Ghana in Ghana gold mines in the western region. He went deep in rural Ghana to report on Galamsey. Take a look.
CNN crew travels to gold mines in Ghana's western region.
He's doing it. Oh! That's crazy. Look at that. Oh! What you gonna do? You don't trust them?
I can't. Wait.
He's thinking I'm scared. Okay, we survived.
Ghana is so blessed with abundant resources, but it is being ripped off every day. Some gold miners from Ghana, they discovered the largest gold deposit ever in the country. Take a look. So, Ghanaians, do you think the new government led by President John Mahama and Vice President Jen Nana Opoko Ageman, do you think that they will bring significant change in the country in terms of development, schools, roads, hospitals, and the cost of living of Ghanaian people? Do you think that they will bring change in the country? Just tell us your honest opinion in the comments down below.
You elected us to solve the problems, not to put the blame on anybody else or to shoulder you with those problems.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. I'm your host, Elvis Derry. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
They're coming for you. Higher power. Higher power. They're coming for you.
Hello, how are you? Since the protest started, so many lives have been lost along the way. So many people have been kidnapped, abducted, and some of them are still missing till date. On August 19th, Free Kenya Movement chairman Bob Njagi was abducted in Mlolongo while he was going back home.
Usio mwizi wewe mtu wa maandamano, hadi kofia ni ya maandamano.
After 32 days in captivity, later on Bob Njagi was released, and this is how he narrated his story. Listen to this.
I was whisked away into a building and ushered into a small and very dark room. It was the size of 6 feet by 4 feet. I was left on the floor handcuffed at the back and blindfolded for 2 days without food, only some water. That was
People power, higher power. People power, higher power. People power, higher power. Who are the people?
We are the people.
Who are the people?
We are the people.
People power,
higher power.
People power,
higher power.
Who are the people?
We are the people.
Who are the people?
We are the people.
Who are the people?
We are the people.
A luta continua.
Sorry.
Viva Bob Njagi, viva.
Viva.
Viva Bob Njagi, viva.
Viva.
Viva comrades, viva.
Viva.
Viva comrades, viva.
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 Sorry. Good afternoon, members of the Fourth Estate. Thank you for joining us today for this presser. I'm going to read out my statement, which is in writing, and thereafter I'm going to share it with you also for publication. The title is Bob Njagi, Kitengela 3 Press and Public Statement on Recent Abductions. Revolutionary greetings. I take this opportunity to welcome members of the mainstream media and social media fraternity as they cover this press and public statement for the victims of state abduction, commonly referred to as the Kitengela 3, namely Bob Njagi, Longton Jamil, and Asley Longton. Today, Wednesday, the 9th of October, marks 20 days since our release from abduction and forceful detention without trial. During these few days, we have been undergoing medical treatment, both psychosocial support and physical examination in various health centers, hence the prolonged silence since our release. Prior to our abduction on the 19th of August 2024, Free Kenya movement had been on the forefront of the protest demonstrations against the draconian Finance Bill 2024, which later mutated into pro-good governance demos that demanded for the dissolution of parliament and the resignation of President William Ruto and his deputy, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, for gross violations of the Constitution and failing to uphold and protect the sovereignty of the Kenyan people. During the protests, I was singled out and targeted by security agencies for leading the protest. I was illegally arrested twice on 2 separate occasions. On both occasions, I was violently arrested and physically assaulted by the police and denied my right to seek counsel or communicate with my family members. I was presented before a court to answer to the fictitious and trumped-up charges. One of these cases has since been dismissed by the prosecution for lack of evidence. Why then did they have to arrest and subject me to inhumane treatment while knowing so well that I was innocent and they lacked any evidence? The other matter will be heard on the 14th of October, 2024 in Kajiado Magistrates Court, number 1. It is important to note that all demos, we have always notified the police in accordance to Article 37 of the Public Order Act and further requested them for security during the demos. As the demos intensified countrywide, we all witnessed the introduction of hooligans whose aim was to disrupt the peaceful protest by causing chaos, looting, stealing, and destruction of property. The aim was to create panic and fear amongst the business community, as well as to deter the Gen Zs from participating in the demos. The police and sympathizers of Kenya Kwanza administration were quick to blame the protesters before undertaking any investigation to ascertain the truth. This strategy, however, did not deter us from proceeding with peaceful protests, much to the dissatisfaction of those who had organized the thugs. The police, instead of arresting or stopping those who are looting from the business community, focused on arresting and shooting and killing innocent protesters. Many businesses in various towns and cities suffered huge losses as a result of looting by hired goons. The Gen Z-led protests have been calling for good governance, accountability, and a fight against corruption. Hence, there is no room for thuggery or hooliganism. It will be counterproductive to what we are demonstrating against. Most of the shops looted have CCTV cameras. Why haven't the police used that footage to identify and arrest the real criminals? During the anti-finance bill protest, many young Kenyans have been injured, illegally arrested, abducted, and others died through extrajudicial killings. There have been serious gross violations on human rights that amount to crimes against humanity by security agencies. Government institutions tasked with the role of oversight, such as the Independent Police Oversight Authority, have clearly no powers to arrest or prosecute any rogue police officers. Their attempts to investigate the police have been distracted and hampered in order to cover up the truth. The Kenya police have violated the Constitution severally, yet they are the ones who are entrusted with enforcing the same laws. The use of excessive force such as live bullets, water cannons, tear gas, etc., while concealing their faces to avoid identification has been the modus operandi. To date, no police officer has been brought to book to answer to the charges of assault, misconduct, abuse of office, use of excessive force, abduction, murder, etc. This only points to the reluctance of government to undertake any meaningful investigations that will uncover the truth and reveal those who have been sponsoring the goons. On the 18th of August 2024, I received a call from Honorable Jimmy Wanjigi to accompany him the following day to Nairobi area police station, where he had been summoned to appear before the police. On the 19th of August, I arrived at Nairobi area police station at 2 p.m., only to be informed that the venue had been changed and that he had been asked to go to Nairobi Regional Police Command in Milimani Road. Honorable Jimmy Wanjigi was later put under arrest and whisked away to Kamkunji Police Station. We spent the whole afternoon and evening there with his family and lawyer, seeking for his release, but the police insisted on holding him until the following day in order to arraign him in court. My colleagues then dropped me off at Railway's bus terminus, where I boarded a matatu to Kitengela, for Kitengela. En route to Kitengela, the bus stopped at Mlolongo for some passengers to alight. It was then that four masked men, hooded men, got into the vehicle shouting, "Huyu ako na bunduki," while pointing at me. I was immediately alarmed by this assertion, and upon realizing what was happening, I shouted my name, Bob Njagi, and informed all the passengers that I was being targeted because of the demos. The officers shoved me out of the bus forcefully while assaulting me with kicks, blows, slaps, jacking me off my feet, and carrying me shoulder high into an awaiting white car. The officers had cautioned other passengers not to take any photos or videos. However, some passengers managed to secretly record the incident. Inside the white vehicle were 5 men, 2 in the front and 3 at the back. We drove for close to an hour, while all the time I was assaulted until we came to a sudden stop. I was then blindfolded and handcuffed at the back and moved into a second awaiting vehicle that had 4 men. 2 sat at the back on either side and 2 at the front. We drove for complete silence for another 30 minutes until we arrived in our destination. 32 days of terror. I was whisked away into a building and ushered into a small and very dark room. It was the size of 6 feet by 4 feet. I was left on the floor handcuffed at the back and blindfolded for 2 days without food, only some water. That was
People power,
Higher power.
people power,
Higher power.
people power,
Higher power.
Who are the people?
We are the people.
Who are the people?
We are the people.
People power,
Higher power.
people power,
Higher power.
Who are the people?
We are the people.
Who are the people?
We are the people.
Who are the people?
We are the people.
A luta continua.
Sorry.
Viva Bob Njagi, viva.
Viva.
Viva Bob Njagi, viva.
Viva.
Viva comrades, viva.
Viva.
Viva comrades, viva.
Viva.
Viva. Viva.
Sorry. 32 days of terror. I was whisked into a building and ushered into a small, very dark room. It was a size of 6 by 4. I was left on the floor, handcuffed at the back, and blindfolded for 2 days without food. Only some water that was administered occasionally by one of the men. On the 3rd day, the handcuffs were removed from the back side, and my hands were cuffed on the front side. I was then moved into another room. The second room had a small withered mattress and a blanket. This is where I stayed locked up, handcuffed, blindfolded for the next 30 days. The room was completely sealed with no light during the daytime or nighttime. The only human interaction I got was when the door would be opened twice a day. In the morning, they would open and hand me a cup of tea while removing the waste bucket and replacing it with another one. During lunch hour, I was served with a meal that would barely keep me alive. The food was unpalatable, but I forced myself to eat in order to get some strength and to live to see another day, hoping and praying that God would rescue me from this ordeal. My health depreciated very fast and lost a lot of weight. I was dehydrated and lost a lot of weight during the 32 days of abduction. Once a week, I would be led blindfolded into a room where I showered for 10 minutes before returning back to my cell. I was held incommunicado throughout my abduction and denied all freedoms and rights enshrined in our Constitution: the right to a fair trial, freedom of association, freedom of speech, freedom from torture, and freedom from abduction. On September 20th, 2024, at about 12:30 a.m., 2 men came to the cell and asked me to get up and get dressed. I was then taken outside the building into an awaiting vehicle. They removed the handcuffs and replaced them with plastic tie knots, but I remained blindfolded. We drove around the vehicle for about 30 minutes in complete silence. Finally, the car stopped and one of the men informed me that they were going to release me, gave me some money, 400 shillings for bus fare, and removed me from the car. They asked me to sit on the ground and to remain there until they left. I heard the doors shutting and the cars speeding off. By the time I removed my blindfold, they had already disappeared into the dark. I stumbled on my feet and started walking without knowing where I was. In about 15 minutes, I got to Tigoni police station. It was there that I reported the matter, which was booked in the OB. I requested the officers to contact my family, which they did. The OCS Tigoni police station arrived at about 2 a.m., where she asked me to write a statement. I complied, and later my family members arrived, picked me up, and took me home. I have since been recuperating, healing from this horrific experience. I wish to take this opportunity to extend my heartfelt gratitude and thank all Kenyans of goodwill who have prayed, lobbied for our release from abduction. I wish to single out my family, my parents and siblings and relatives, friends, the Law Society of Kenya, the Defenders Coalition, the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, comrades of the Free Kenya Movement, various human rights organizations, civil society organizations, the mainstream media and social media fraternity, leaders from various including Honorable Jimmy Wanjigi, Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, Honorable Eugene Wamalwa, Honorable Wajakoya, Senator Umtata, Honorable Kioni, activists from the social justice movements, and the judiciary for their exemplary role of justice. I thank God for being faithful and for the continued gift of life and good health. I take note that the petition against the IG and CS for Interior is pending in the High Court, though the Judge Lawrence Mugambi has since recused himself from the case. We intend to pursue this case to its most logical conclusion. The state should be held responsible for our abduction and that of many other Kenyans, since it is their duty to provide security to all persons and protect their lives and property. I have since reconciled myself with the ordeal so as to heal. I have since forgiven my captors and asked God to forgive them too. I, however, will pursue justice and plan to sue the government for this ordeal in order to stop any other such abductions. I call upon this government to immediately put an end to all cases of demonstrations from the year 2023 to 2024. Furthermore, we call on the government to recognize and compensate families who have lost their loved ones during this protest as a sign of goodwill, honor, and respect. My spirit is more emboldened, my heart is more fortified, my body is more resilient, and my mind is more focused. I shall continue to lobby for good governance and accountability. I remain to be a strong voice for the weak, the marginalized in society, more so persons with disability, orphans, and widows. Since the 2018 Finance Bill, we initiated the Free Kenya Movement as an alternative platform through which we would lobby for social justice, constitutional reforms, economic and political reforms, and have engaged in several legal battles challenging bad laws. We have been and continue to collect signatures from registered voters in order to initiate a people's dialogue, otherwise known as a referendum. You can access the referendum and signature collection portal on www.freekenya.co.ke or www.freekenyasignatures.com. End of statement. People power.
Higher power.
People power.
Higher power.
Higher power.
People power.
Higher power.
People power.
Who are the people?
We are the people.
Who are the people?
We are the people.
Watu ni nguvu.
Nguvu ni watu.
Watu ni nguvu.
Nguvu ni watu.
Nguvu ni watu.
Watu ni nguvu.
Nguvu ni watu.
Watu ni nguvu.
Watu ni nani?
Watu ni sisi.
Watu ni nani?
Watu ni sisi.
Thank you.
Tunaanzisha mchakato wa referendum ambaye tutazuru taifa yote ya Kenya tukisanya sahihi milioni 1 ili tuweze kuleta mabadiliko ya kikatiba ambayo yataleta afueni kwa mwananchi wa kawaida, sivyo? Mnakubaliana na hiyo safari?
Anguka naye. They're coming for you.
From Morara Kebaso angry.
The governors who are stealing from you, they are from your tribe.
To Mzungu injecting.
The president of Kenya is nothing more than an imperial lackey.
Have you paid rent? I beg your pardon.
Some of us steal money here, we go to Tanzania, we invest it there.
We are coming for you.
Hello, how are you? Welcome back to ShowNewTrend. I'm your host today and my name is Elvis Dairy. Before I start today's episode, first of all, let us have a moment of silence for all the women that have lost their lives in these previous days and weeks. Femicide, the new cancer in town. When will these killings of our women stop? Because we cannot be losing our girls, our beautiful girls every day. Our women are being buried every day. Broken communities and broken families. People are crying out there. When will this murder stop? Just take a look.
And cases of killings continued.
Another femicide case. 500 cases of femicide and reportedly killed in Kenya.
Femicide, the deliberate killing of women because they're women. In Kenya, it's not just a word.
Sad what's happening in Kenya?
It's a national crisis. Over 150 women were murdered in 2023 alone, not by strangers in the shadows, but often by those closest to them,
by people
fathers, partners, and friends. The violence is no accident. It's rooted in toxic masculinity, fueled by a culture or patriarchy and made worse by a justice system that looks the other way. Victims are blamed,
Stop victim blaming.
Cases go cold, and the killers, they walk free. But the women of Kenya refuse to stay silent. Across the country, they're taking to the streets and demanding justice.
We have marched through the streets of Nairobi,
shouting a message that can no longer be ignored. Enough is enough.
The killing to stop.
This is not just about numbers. It's about lives, about a nation at breaking point. The question is, how many more women must die before Kenya finally says no more?
This is very painful and sad to watch. Kenyans, we should not tolerate such behaviors, especially killing, taking lives, destroying families, destroying people's lives. Justice for our women. Just feel free and take your time and write down in the comments down below hashtag end femicide and hashtag justice for our girls.
It's a national crisis.
I know many of you are familiar with these words. Tumepanga, tumetenga.
Oh, tumepanga. Oh, tumetenga. Oh.
The governor of Nairobi, Governor Sakaja, and William Ruto, they are passing by Kayole. And let me tell you, the roads there are very pathetic. Like, I'm just wondering, how are they comfortable inside those cars while calling themselves leaders? Take a look.
Ruto!
Andika Ruto kikuja sowe.
Ruto! Yeah. Oye Ruto, finance bill. Na kona escort kubwa. Hey.
Today's question is, will Senator Okiya Omtatah run for presidency in the next elections? This was confirmed by his wife, a former nominated Senator, Emma Mbura Omtatah. She said that her husband will be running for presidency in the coming year 2027. Listen to this.
Ama nitumie title, I'm Honorable Emma Mbura Omtatah. Yeah, I'm a former senator Mombasa County. So nimekuja hapa sitakaa. Mimi niko na spinal injury, nilipata accident miezi iliyokwisha. na nimekuwa Aga Khan Hospital for 1 month and 2 weeks. Hata hapa niko na mashini nimevaa, so siwezi simama muda mrefu. Lakini mume wangu ambaye ni senator amenipatia ujumbe wenu nilete hapa, na akasema mumuie radhi, mumsamehe. Angependa kuja kwa na nyinyi leo, lakini kwa sababu ya harakati zake za kutaka kugombea urais 2027 ameshikika kwa mikutano mingi ya watu kutoka nje na Wakatoliki ambao wanamuunga mkono. Leo ana mkutano na watu kadhaa ambao wanamuunga mkono, kwa hivyo wasingeweza kuja.
Kenyans, did you know that the national government has already released funds for counties? That means that your governor, your politicians right now, they have monies on their hands. And I just want to see, and we have, I want to see how these people are going to spend this money. Will they be paying the government workers? Will they put that money in development? Or will they put it in their bank accounts? Listen to this.
So, incompetent governor ya Bomet County anaitwa Hilary Barchok. Umeona leo national government wamerelease funds ya county sama namna gani? Pesa imetoka. Kagitia chepkondok inyechor saa. Sasa iba kabisa. Secondly, ile watu huko umelipa medical staff. I am told kuna medical staff ambao walikuwa kwa contract tomgelipan saa hii for almost 1 year. Kindly Bwana Barchok, pay those medical staff ama namna gani? Enforcement officers nilisikia mpaka kuna wenye walikupeleka mpaka kotini agi ignore not court orders. Pay the people. Pesa imetoka, usiseme tena hakuna pesa. Kuna wengine ECD ngakile ne ECD teachers. I also received information that wengi hawajalipwa, and also kakile at some point walikuongelesha kakile igure ngosengengishia. Pay them because the money is out now. Kakobwa rabinik matkota ko ngalagin iblembech chwanon mi obisi en county lego lenjogin pesa ichatoka.
Nyerians are injecting. In Nyeri town, the residents have decided to collect signatures to recall their MP, Duncan Madenge, just after a few days where the people, the residents of Madira, decided and started a process to recall their MP, who is Eric Wamumbi. Just take a look at how Nyerians are injecting. Imagine, just imagine, teachers, lecturers are not being paid. In a public university, lecturers went on to demonstrate and protest the government's failure to implement pay rise, among other demands. Just take a look at how things unfolded. After all these politics, and nonsense that is taking place in this country, are you still a proud Kenyan? Many of our people are being taken to foreign countries to go and work there. Is it hard to create jobs in our own country in Kenya? Is it that hard? Many of Kenyans who are working in foreign countries, some of them, they come back home in caskets. Just take a look at this.
There's nothing to be proud of when you're sending your own people to other countries to go and build their economies.
Yeah.
Don't ever be excited and say, oh, you're opening,
it shows you failed to build the employment rate here in Kenya.
100%. Let's not be proud, man. The question is...
The pride of Africa.
No, it shows you have literally failed in your
the laughing stock of Africa now.
Yeah. If you fail to get your own people jobs in your own country and you're sending them abroad, Why are you still in that position?
Yeah.
What do you stand for?
Do you know that we actually used to have Kenya used to be the host of the biggest factory for Guinness. We were the ones who originally did it in Kisumu. Guinness. We used to produce Guinness for the whole part of Africa. But then we overtaxed those guys until we chased them away, and then they moved to South Africa, Johannesburg. But Guinness was initially being processed in Kenya. Can you imagine that kind of an opportunity?
So if you look at it, there's a lot of countries, there's a lot of companies outside of
that would love to
Africa
work and invest here, but they can't.
They come here.
Yeah,
so if they see a potential here, why are we not seeing the same potential?
It's very hard doing business here.
Nairobi City County's Chief Officer of Environment, Geoffrey Mosira, he has said that he has successfully cleaned the flyovers in Nairobi City and also deploying officers there to maintain law, order and security. And apart from that, he also urged the residents to refrain from using such public spaces as restrooms. Like, who the hell goes to urinate or even take a dump or a flyover? What the hell is this? Take a look.
Tumeanza kureprocess all the flyovers kwa sababu zimekuwa infected na street families, wanaenda haja kubwa hapo, haja ndogo. So this one of them hapa Mdhurwa. Wewe ni aje? Wewe ndio unaishi hapo juu? Ni ndio mnaenda haja kubwa hapo juu? Nisiwapate hapa. Shuka sasa. You can see if flyover iko inapitwa sababu ilikuwa imejaa kinyesi. Street families wanaenda haja kubwa hapa. Watu angeza kupika, wengine wangepiwa hata angeta. Wangekuwa eject hapa, wananyang'anywa vitu. So we are here to repossess all the flyovers in CBD. We clean them and repossess for the people of Nairobi to use them.
The son of the former late president of Uganda, Idi Amin, whose name is Lumumba Amin, he came out and revealed a shocking information to the world. And Kenyans, whatever happens in these foreign countries, especially the US, when they have policies, laws and all those shenanigans, it affects us here in Kenya in one way or another. Just listen to what the son of Idi Amin, Lumumba Amin, had to say about Israel and the USA. Listen to this.
A quick message to the American people. I know sometimes when things are said coming from Africa, people do not tend to take it seriously overseas. But I would just like you to take a minute and listen, because we have been following some of these issues for quite a while ourselves here. What you call the deep state in the US, the deep state with all these conspiracy theories about assassination of your leaders or people disappearing, JFK and all that. Well, the deep state is Israel. And what you call the Uniparty is Israel. What you also call the swamp, Israel. Thank you.
Tumechoka na huyu fala MUSTGO go. Sisi tumechoka uongozi bila mashindikana MUSTGO go. Hisi uongozi ni hesabu ya minus cradle to grave. Masha fragile extinguish the flame. We zetu lazwa ndani ya gravel. Ametupema na bubble couple the trigger kwa battles like zikipenya vifua huwa zema hapa napita speaker ether beat ndani ya drum into the beater letter feature teacher syllabus white kuna kuficha future travel like the spirit of life unravel stories a jabba to go eagle now can check it over stanners ndio tinta ubawa widi siwe bana the apparel chetania mebaka unda suit juu ya saddle straddling cattle nikanu kwa mto bila paro ni russian roll sisi kugamo.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. I'm your host Elvis Derry. See you in the next one. Bye bye.
They're coming for you.
problem is not the citizens of Kenya. The problem is the leadership.
From Ruto's new abduction squad.
In early 2023, he re-established a similar unit.
To City Mortuary becoming a crime scene.
There is a body tagged 2360, which even the morgue operators are unable to say where that body is.
Was Raymond Otieno murdered?
Was murdered, and these people who murdered Raymond are well known.
Is the state responsible?
Mnafanya abductions, watu wanapatikana City Mortuary. Wale walishikwa huko ni Mororongo ama ni wapi? Walipatikana mortuary wakiwa mortuary, and they are believed to be abducted by the same forces. They are coming for you.
Five Kenyan police were arrested or literally abducted by the Ugandan police.
Hello, how are you? Welcome back to ShowNewTrend. I'm Yusuf today, and my name is Elvis Dairy. Abductions has been a daily occurrence in the Republic of Kenya, and Kenyans are tired of hearing their brothers and sisters have been abducted. Their mothers and fathers, their neighbors, and some of them, they end up being found dead. So Kenyans, who is responsible for abductions in this country called Kenya? Listen to what Free Kenya Movement Chairman Bob Njagi had to say about this.
First, I want to confirm and say it here on live TV that I do believe that it is the state that is responsible for our abductions, without any iota of doubt. The handcuffs that I was put on my hands for 32 days, the handcuff number was 11DC 1892. That's a handcuff number. 11DC 1892. That's the number of my handcuffs. Okay, it's only the state that has these instruments that can be used to incarcerate somebody. All right. Since our release from abduction, we've not been asked by the state to be investigated. We've not been asked by the DCI to go and record statements for investigations. If there is other people outside the state that are abducting people, then the state has the instruments of investigating to find out who then abducted us. I was not abducted alone. On the same day I was abducted, there were two other gentlemen in the same fashion that were abducted in Kitengela. That is Aslam and Jamil Longton. And we happened again to be released on the same day. This is after the Inspector General of Police had been found in contempt of court for having not presented himself to court for 7 times. The same thing is happening with the new Inspector General. I'm just wondering, where are we heading to as a country, Kenyans? Raymond Otieno, who was very vocal in the political arena, fighting for good governance and a better future for this country, he was murdered in Nakuru County in cold blood. Let's listen to what Honorable Babu Owino had to say about this case.
On this matter of Raymond Otieno, I want to state that Raymond was murdered, and these people who murdered Raymond are well known. Before Raymond's death, Raymond on several occasions posted on his Facebook handle, social media, posted on his WhatsApp groups within Molo, Nakuru County, that his life was in danger. Raymond was attacked in November, around 23rd day of November 2024. Raymond registered a complaint, had a P3, filled a P3 for action. The police failed to act on the P3. The police failed to arrest those who attacked Raymond, and Raymond stated clearly that he knew them. Raymond stated clearly that he was being threatened by the area member of parliament, Kimani Kuria. And he stated, and there are those screenshots, and even on his social media handle. And even the wife came out and talked clearly, having known those who were threatening Raymond. Why can't the police act on those who attacked Raymond, on those who killed Raymond? Yet they know very well the person who killed Raymond.
A government pathologist by the name of Johansen Odwor, he came out to reveal some disturbing information on how Molo activist Richard Otieno was brutally murdered. Kenyans, just listen to this.
The late Richard had several severe injuries. There were multiple slash wounds on the back of the head, which led to fracture of the skull and the extensive bleeding of the brain. There were also some slash wounds on the frontal area of the skull, though this one did not fracture the brain, the skull, and there were also bruises on the face. What also we found was also more bruises on the arms, which looked like someone who was trying to defend himself. So from these findings, we can say that the late Richard died as a result of severe head injury, which was caused by a sharp object, which could either be a panga or an axe, which was used severally on the head. We've taken some samples for analysis because you know that LOCAD principle say that when two people meet in a violent way, there's exchange in DNA material. So there's some samples we've taken from the body, which can help us see whether we can apprehend people who did it, their fingernails for DNA. We're also taking samples for toxicological analysis to find out if there's something which was given to him to slow him down prior to him meeting the assailants at the place where he was.
I am just speechless and shocked after hearing what government pathologist Johansen Odwor has said about this case. This is very barbaric and very inhumane. Kenyans, I'm just wondering, is this the country, is this the future that the Kenya Kwanza government promised the people of Kenya during campaigns? Many Kenyans have accused Molo Member of Parliament Kuria Kimani for taking part in Richard Otieno's death. But Molo MP Kuria Kimani has also come forward and promised the Kenyan people that Richard Otieno will get justice. I'm just wondering, will justice be served? Listen to this.
May I assure that my constituencies that I have been in communication with the Rift Valley Regional Criminal Investigation Officer, the Nakuru security team, and the Molo security operators, demanding that there should be expeditious investigations into this. And whoever is involved, and I repeat, whoever is involved must and should be brought to justice.
5 suspects who were implicated in the murder, in the gruesome murder of Richard Otieno, Molo human rights activists, were arrested. And Nakuru court has granted police 21 more days to hold the suspects until the conclusion of the investigation. So Kenyans, take a look at the faces of the murderers, of the suspects who were arrested in Nakuru court.
For the state.
Yes.
Your Honor, we are seeking for 30 days to enable us conclude the investigations into this matter. The investigations will involve collection of Safaricom data. We are yet to record statements of crucial witnesses. Post-mortem is also yet to be conducted. It has been conducted. We are awaiting samples that were taken to the government chemist analyst. We are yet to receive that report.
As the investigations continue, Molo residents, they turned up massively in large numbers in Siaya County to bury their comrade, Molo activist Richard Otieno, also known as the Molo president. Take a look.
Watu wa Siaya, sisi hatujui kuandamana, lakini tuliandamana. Warudisha mkono, hiyo maneno wanafanyaga ya tochi, ya nini, waende wafanye mambo hayo, tujue hao ni ya kina nani. Sisi kule Elbago tunajipanga na nyuki, na hivi karibuni mtaona matokeo. Kwa sababu leo ni Richard, kesho kesho ni wewe, kesho ni mimi. Haki ya Richard lazima ipatikane. Tunasema hivi, Richard, tafadhali don't rest in peace. Haki yako ipatikane, mapambano bado yako.
In Mombasa County, things were boiling. The judges there went on to call for a press briefing, calling to an end to abduction, urging for citizen action towards this mass murder of unarmed civilians, disobedience of court orders, and also subversion of the Constitution of Kenya by the rogue regime. Take a look.
Tumeungana pamoja na Wakenya wote nchini kukemea na kupinga na kuonya ubaradhuli na ubepari ambao unaendelea nchini. Hali ambayo iliyoko sahihi kulingana na haki za kibinadamu ni hali ya kutisha, ni hali ya kusikitisha na ni hali ya kutamausha. Vijana wanauliwa left, right and center. Leo kama mwanaharakati kuzungumza, it is like signing a death sentence. Kenya leo, there is violations of human rights of the highest order. We lack a vocabulary to describe this. Wanaharakati tunanyanyaswa, wanaharakati tunatishwa, wanaharakati tunapigwa, wanaharakati hatuna uhuru wa kusema jambo lolote. Hivi hapa tulivyosimama, hata tunaogopa tunaweza kushikwa tukaambiwa this is unlawful assembly. Tunasema hali hii ikome, na sisi kama wanaharakati hatutatishwa. Sisi kama wanaharakati tunapinga mauaji ambayo yametokea Nairobi. We shall give them a 7-day notice and we shall serve them legally and appropriately. And we are calling upon all the Gen Zs in Mombasa County. When we call for action and demonstration, we want you to come out. This is your legal right constitutionally, na haufai kutishwa na mtu yoyote kwa sababu kuandamana ni haki yako.
Kenyans received heartbreaking news regarding the discovery of 2 dead bodies, that of Justus Mutumwa and Martin Mwau, who had gone missing since December 2024.
Kenyans, let's not forget Kitengela 4, who were brutally murdered after they were suspected to be livestock thieves. They were heading back home from a birthday party and one of their motorbikes developed a problem. So while they were fixing their motorbike, some guards descended on them and beating them to death. And I'm just wondering, who gave you the power to take somebody's life? Who gave you the power to kill? Is there not a police station around there where you can take them and they get charged or booked? Just take a look.
The family of 2 brothers, Frederick Mureithi Wanjiru and Victor Mwangi Wanjiru, arrived at the city mortuary for the 2nd time this week. They were here on Monday to identify bodies of their loved ones who went missing on Saturday last week. Thursday morning, they assembled here yet again for a post-mortem examination, and the results revealed the gory details of the attack.
Post-mortem inasema ni kuchapwa hii jare kidogo ya mwili, halafu na kudugwa na chapo object. Lakini mimi nilikuwa huku nikaona hiyo mili vile imeuliwa, kwangu vile niliona hao watu walikuwa wamedugwa na kitu chapo hapa. Shimo ilikuwa kubwa, imeingia badani kwa ubongo.
The distraught family narrating the Saturday incident that occurred a day after the 4 friends reportedly left their homes in Syokimau, riding their sports bikes to celebrate the birthday of one of them, 25-year-old Victor Mwangi Wanjiru.
Kenya is becoming a lawless country that even killing, murder has been normalized. Those guards who killed the Kitengela 4, they should be arrested and charged and locked away for good. We cannot have murderers walking among us. Chief Justice Martha Koome, she now pretends to condemn President Ruto over the abductions, as the number of those who have been killed is rising day by day. Take a look.
I, as a mother, and now as a grandmother, I put myself in the shoes of that parent whose child was abducted, and for days on, months on, they do not know where their child is. What I have to say as the Chief Justice is that Kenya is a country of the rule of law. We have the Constitution, We have other statutes, the Penal Code, the Criminal Procedure Code, which define every crime.
As the number of abductions and murder rises day by day in Kenya, if I may ask you, do you think that President William Ruto has an abduction squad, and even worse, a killer squad that is freely operating in Kenya without repercussions? Listen to this.
After Ruto disbanded SSU in early 2023, he re-established a similar unit within DCI. Retained some people from the SSU and recruited others. Those were people being recruited for a new unit that replaced SSU. It is called Operation Support Unit. So Operation Support Unit is the one which replaced SSU, and it is doing exactly what SSU used to do.
This has been so normalized that even armed men using fake number plates walking around, they can simply just abduct a Kenyan citizen if they want to. Like Kenyans, it is time for us to raise our voices. Let's put an end to these extrajudicial killings and enforce disappearances in the Republic of Kenya. Listen to what activist Hussein Khalid had to say about the Mlolongo 4.
We have the 4 families. Just to clarify, Mlolongo, it's Mlolongo 4, not Mlolongo 3. These 4 who were abducted, they all know each other. They were actually friends. So 3 of them were abducted on 17th, and then they came back and picked MBC, the 4th one, or the day after. So it's Mlolongo 4 colleagues, not Mlolongo 3. 2, Justus and Martin, their fingerprints were taken, and of course the message was sent to their rural home. As Wakili has said, that information came to light yesterday. The other 2, we have information that the other 2 might be here, but the morgue attendants have asked us for time because there are very many bodies. So they are trying to locate on those dates those 2 whose features might resemble these other 2 colleagues. But the 4 families are here together. We are hoping that once everything has been confirmed, then we will move to the post-mortem process. The bodies are not in very good shape. They appear to have been mutilated. Even you can't really tell from the look on the faces only, you can't really identify who they are. It's the fingerprints and probably the DNA.
A citizen TV journalist by the name of Odi Francis exposed that a body which was booked at City Mortuary alongside with other 2 Mlolongo victims went missing. This makes City Mortuary a crime scene. Let's take a look.
I want to go on record so the country may know that actually there is a body that was brought here, and it's on the record, alongside the body tagged 2390. There is a body tagged 2360, which even the morgue operators are unable to say where that body is. It's on the record, but nobody knows where the body is.
Tumebaini kuwa tarehe 18 Disemba mwaka 2024 mwili uliopatikana eneo la Njiru ulifikishwa katika makafani ya City saa 11 jioni na maafisa kutoka kituo cha polisi cha Obama eneo la Kayole. Siku moja baadaye maafisa wa polisi kutoka kituo cha polisi cha Ruai wakafikisha mwili mwingine tarehe 19 saa 12 jioni, na baada ya dakika 50 mwili wa 3 ukafikishwa katika makafani hayo ya City saa 12 na dakika 50, na maafisa wa polisi kutoka kituo cha polisi cha Molem wakifikisha mwili ambao uliorodheshwa kupatikana mtaa wa Molem Dandora.
There's some collusion here between this institution and the police to hide bodies here, and victims who have been abducted, they too will be summoned to court. They will answer. Like
seriously, where are we heading to as a country? The Kenya government should be held accountable for the murders and the abductions that is taking place in our territory. A member of the Kenyan Senate by the name of Edwin Sifuna, he came on and said that Nairobi City Mortuary, its management and the county government are complicit in the abduction and killing of Kenyans. How is it the bodies of the men from Mlolongo have been there since December 18th, and when families visited the facility, they couldn't find them? It is quite clear that the management is in cahoots with the abductors and they must be held accountable. Just listen to what the ground is saying.
Hii mambo ya kutuambia stories za jaba hapa Kenya hakuna. Sisi mnafanya abductions, watu wanapatikana City Mortuary. Wale walishikwa huko ni Mlolongo ama ni wapi? Walipatikana mortuary wakiwa mortuary, and they are believed to be abducted by the same forces. The same people that we pay with our own taxpayers' money. And then wanachukua hawa watu wanaenda kutupa kuua watu wanapatikana mochari. Kama mliua Brian, mulete mwili tuone, tujuage kitendo yenye ilifanyika. Lakini msitufiche, msijifanye hapo ati nyinyi ni werevu sana. Hakuna werevu mko nayo. This time round tumetoka kwa hiyo level ya kubebagwa ufara na kubebwa ujinga. Kama DCI mvijafanya kazi yenu, I will promise you, you are turning Kenya to be now. Kama ile shughuli inafanyika huko Congo. Mutaona vile tutainuka kinyume na polisi. Because we cannot be watching ati mtu anabebwa alafu anadisappear.
Even our own police officers are not safe from abductions. Malaba border was closed after Kenyan police officers, they were abducted and repatriated to Kampala from our own Kenyan soil. Can you imagine that? Just listen to this.
Hii ndo hali ilipo pande ya Malaba. Mimi mwenyewe nazungumza, niko katikati ya mto pale juu ya bridge ile imegawanya Uganda na Kenya. Niko katikati ya hiyo bridge nikielekea pande ya Uganda. Vile mnapoona hakuna gari yote inafuka kuelekea Kenya, na pande hii nyingine ya Kenya mkiangalia hakuna gari yote inayofuka kuelekea pande ya Uganda. Hii ni kufuatia maneno ya jana yale yaliyosema kana kwamba kuna polisi wa Kenya alishikwa na polisi wa Uganda na wakampeleka anti Kampala. Jana walijaribu wakafunga boda kwa muda wa nusu saa, lakini baadaye wakashirikiana wakaona wafungue boda lakini wapeane masaa. Ikifika asubuhi ya leo kama huyo polisi hajaachiliwa, boda itafungwa mpaka ile siku huyo polisi ataachiliwa. Na ndiposa mnaona hali ilivyo.
How can the Kenyan government allow such treasonous acts by allowing foreign powers to perpetrate treasonous acts within our borders? But who are the Kenyan people? The Kenyan people decided to go and eject the occupied, and they protested against the abduction of our Kenyan police officers. Later on, the police officers were released, and the crowd, the masses, they cheered in support of our police officers. Just take a look. These stories of abductions and murder did not just start recently. It has been here for quite some time. Kenyans, do you remember Kenyan billionaire by the name of Jacob Juma, who was assassinated for turning into a whistleblower? Before his death, he said that President William Ruto is the one who is planning to take him out. Let's take a look at this.
The late Jacob Juma, at 12:34 p.m. on the 10th of December 2015, tweeted, and I quote, "The person who is obsessed with plans to kill me is William Ruto. I know that my assassination was discussed on Tuesday." My question to you is, did you have anything to do with that? As the late Jacob Juma claimed, as Jirongo claimed, and why you?
Well, I think we lost Jacob Juma. That he would be best placed to respond to your question. And maybe you should look for some time, get Jirongo here, so that he can tell the country what he means. But I am sure as the sun is going to rise tomorrow, that the killers of Jacob Juma will be brought to book. I am hoping that they will be brought to book, and they will be known. I want to tell you, and to tell Kenyans, and to tell the country, that I have nothing to do with anything to do with the life or death of Jacob Juma.
Investigations are going on. Have the police questioned you since Jacob Juma directly?
When the police want a statement from me, I will give it freely. Any day, any time, anywhere.
It is quite clear that President William Ruto cannot handle criticism. Neither can he handle to be held accountable. Not unlike Raila Amolo Odinga, the former Prime Minister of Kenya, who has been in the political game for quite some time. He has been criticized for decades, but yet he has learned to know his boundaries. Listen to what Fanya Mambo Kinuthia had to say about this.
If there is a politician who has been insulted in this country, by the way, let me tell you, if Raila was a bad-hearted man, Mimi sijui kama kuna mtu Kenya ametukanwa kuliko Raila. Raila has been called Kehe, he's been called uncircumcised, he's been called
Mchawi, Muganga.
There is no word you can imagine that Raila has not been called. I have never had him send his boys to go and kill, abduct or mistreat the people who've called him names. Raila ameitwa Kimudu Kiguruki. He's been called all sorts of names, and I usually say hats off. I respect him for the fact that he has the thickest skin I have seen in Kenyan politics.
That is why he's Baba.
He has a strong aptitude. He can take up so much. I personally don't think I would have the strength to take up what Baba has taken in. He has really been demeaned and insulted, all in trying to help this country. When he keeps quiet, it's a problem. When he speaks, it's a problem. When he leaves the country, they have a problem that he has left. When he returns, they say, kwa nini amerudi? When he supports Ruto, it's a problem. When he leaves him alone, amenyamaza sana. So it's hard to be Baba. It's hard to be Baba.
The Law Society of Kenya, led by President Faith Odhiambo, have called for a nationwide condemnation of the abductions and the killings of the Gen Zs. Let's take a look.
And what that means that the abductions that are going on are either committed by some of the security operatives or with the connivance or sufferance of the security apparatus, and that must be called out. And it's not an excuse to say that the Gen Zs or some of the people in Kenya have taken to abusing social media. That is true, but there's no way an abuse in the social media can call for death. And that is why when Faith Odhiambo asked me yesterday, the other day, that the LSK is going to sue on behalf of all those who have been killed, either during the demonstrations or subsequently, I told her I will support that, and I'll be very glad to lead the team without any apology.
We need the National Police Service to give us tangible answers. You can't deny and say you don't know what is happening. It's not you who was arrested. It's not you who was abducted. And yet at the very same time, it's your same police officers who are saying they have found the body, yet you're saying you do not know. Or you need to tell us who is the person killing Kenyans. We need to stand firm as a nation and as a people. Our country is a beautiful country. We have beautiful laws. Let us bring life to those laws. Today I saw a clarification by IPOA saying that they have not said they cannot investigate. I hope they will show us by action. We have not seen any arrests arising from the Gen Z protest to the current abductions. Nothing is going on in our country.
Frequent abductions and killings have really affected the Kenyan people psychologically. And I'm just wondering, when will all this stop? Just take a look at this skit.
Wale tushike tumgote. Walai. Imeweza.
Wewe Ken, ni sisi bana.
Kumbe ni nyinyi.
Wewe umeenda. Hebu sikia.
Wazee nilikuwa dhairi gaba.
Ngoja unaepa wewe Ken. Wewe rudi.
Sawa, nakaa.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. I'm your host, Elvis Derry. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
5 Kenyan police were arrested or literally abducted by the Ugandan police.
you.
From abduction caught on camera to plane crash in Malindi.
Ndege imeanguka kwa chocha.
Why did he kill a daughter? Bukangesa Omole assassination attempt.
Anguka na. They're coming for you.
Hello, how are you? Welcome back to ShowNewTrend. I'm your host of today and my name is Elvis Derry. Tragedy has shaken Kenya, where an aircraft in Malindi crashed, busted into flames, and sadly 3 people lost their lives. Let's take a look at the aftermath of the accident.
Oh, bad accident mazee imetokea hapa kwa chocha. Accident mbaya imetokea kwa chocha. Accident mbaya imetokea kwa chocha. Watu wamekufa mbaya. Watu wamekufa vibaya sana. Hey, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Oh. Hana mkuu wa mazea. Yule hana kichwa kabisa, angalia. Oh. Hey, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Ndege imeanguka kwa chocha. Ndege imeanguka kwa chocha. Ndio hii.
So for those who lost their lives, may their souls rest in eternal peace and may their families find peace in their hearts. The Kenya Revenue Authority has launched investigations on a political activist by the name of Morara Kebaso for allegedly failing to file tax returns on 196 million shillings made from his businesses. Later on, Morara Kebaso went to Twitter, formerly also known as X, and tweeted and said that, "I am willing and ready to sit down with KRA and understand how we disagreed on mathematics and why it is necessary to investigate me in the media without a chance to defend myself. I have been condemned without a fair hearing." Kenyans, if I may ask you, are you being paid to hold the government accountable? Are you being paid to question politicians and criticize their work ethic? The President of Kenya, William Ruto, thinks that the young people of Kenya are being misled and paid to misuse the internet. Just listen to what he had to say.
Mimi nawauliza vijana wale wengine wasipotoshwe na wanasiasa wa kuwalipa pesa kidogo ati waweke mapicha ya viongozi ati kwenye makaburi. Mimi nataka niwaambie hawa vijana, leo mutaweka viongozi kwa makaburi, kesho mutaweka wazazi wenu kwa makaburi, kesho kutwa mutaweka wenzenu marafiki zenu ama ndugu zenu kwa makaburi. Siku hiyo ingine nyinyi mtaanza mambo ya mauaji. I want to ask you, those who are encouraging young people to continue this trend where they are putting people in coffins, let us be careful so that we don't build a generation that is going to self-destruct. We must tell our young people that good morals, good character pays. Instead of using the internet to have pictures, images of people in coffins, use the internet to monetize and create jobs for yourself, earn money and make your lives better.
After that, CS Kipchumba Murkomen declared that all those who are using social media accounts to criticize the government and to express themselves, they will all be charged. Like he has forgotten that in Article 33 in the Kenya Constitution, it upholds freedom of expression. Just listen to this.
I want to assure you, Your Excellency, myself and our team in Interior, we are going to relook at this behavior and we will make sure that we will charge all of those who are using this social media to threaten others, because if we don't do so, we will not have a country that is in order. Ukiona wale wanatengeneza mapicha na kutengeneza picha kama wameweka mtu kwa jeneza na wanaweka jeneza kiongozi wa taifa, mimi nataka niulize, and I want to ask this question to every parent in our country, and particularly the church leaders who are defending this bad behavior, and all those politicians, including those who don't agree with us politically, who are defending this behavior. If tomorrow your child goes to school today, and another child whom they share the same class sends a picture, the same picture, when your child has been put in a coffin, will you still defend that behavior? Because when that message is sent to your child, what is that errant child saying? He is threatening your child that I will kill you.
The final year exams has already been done. It is finished. And currently so many students are waiting to join university or college. But a sad story has emerged from Bungoma County in Chesikaki, where a father beat up his daughter to death for simply scoring a D+ in her KCSE exams. Just take a look at this sad and disturbing video. A member of parliament by the name of Oscar Sudi, he went on to rant and call the Gen Z's names. He actually called the Gen Z's thugs for simply fighting for good governance and a better future for this country. Just take a look.
Si mnajua wale wakora wa mtandao kule Nairobi? Wanapiga kelele wanasema sijui Ruto must go, sijui nini. Si mlisikia niliambia hawa jana? Waruke juu, waende chini, waende kando, hakuna penye Ruto anaenda. Ama ni aje? Si mnajua wale wanajifanya wanafikirianga lazima wao tu ndio waongoze inji. Hapana. Hata Mluya anaweza ongoza. Hata Mturukana anaweza ongoza. Mkenya yote ako na uwezo wa kuongoza. Si hata mimi mtanipatia rais kwingine.
Apart from Oscar Sudi's disrespect towards the Gen Zs, the other member of parliament by the name of Farah Maalim, who said that he would have killed 5,000 Gen Zs if he was the president of Kenya, he has come back to disrespect Kenyans and also the Gen Zs. I just listened to what this fool said.
Alafu washenzi wengine wanasema ati Kasongo Ruto must go. Kwa nina zenu hao ambao wanasema hivyo? Kwani amekaa kwa kiti ya mama yako ama baba yako? Amekaa kwa kiti yetu sisi na tutamchagua, tutamrudisha with 99% from the Eastern Province, Upper Eastern, wafugaji wote, na nyinyi mtaniahidi mtanipa mimi 99% ama 100%. Mtanipa ngapi? Mtanipa ngapi?
Like seriously, Kenyans, voters, is this how a politician, a leader should talk in public? Just listen to what the Villager 254 had to say.
Tumetukanwa pamoja na mama zetu wametukanwa na ni mheshimiwa. So Ruto ameamua sababu tunatengeneza cartoon za kumtukana, sasa ametafuta watu wa kututukana. No problem. We will deal with Maalim Farah. You remember the last time he spoke, he said that he would have killed 5,000 young people June 25th. Now we have evidence that he has something against the young people of this country. Now, ICC cases are building properly. Are you seeing what I'm saying? I think it is boiling nicely. Ruto is losing on every direction. Kamkete anasimama, Ruto is losing. Sudi akisimama, Ruto is losing. Kimani Ichung'wah akisimama, Ruto is losing. Natembeya alisema they are assisting to burn the mountain and the western. And once the mountain and western is burned, then Ruto is cooked. I looked at Sifuna. Several times he has repeated that Kasongo's goose is cooked, served, plate and sufurias has been washed. They are waiting for the new occupant.
The Member of Parliament Farah Maalim's statement has sent shockwaves in Kenya to the point where even Francis Gaido, a parliamentary aspirant, has said that on Monday 27th will be a public holiday. Just listen to what Mbanya had to say.
Ati hiyo falamarim, si falamarim, Wakikuyu mko wapi muite huu mtu falamarim? Ati ametuita nini? Ati kumanina by the way, kumanina ziu kwa nini by the way? Okay, tunajua kuma ni nini, but hatujui nina ni nani ama ni nini. Anyway, and to other news, our official opposition leader, Francis Gaido, has given us a holiday on the 27th of this month, as a sign of civil disobedience to this abducting and unaliving of young people's government. Hapo ndio tuko.
To be honest, as the Gen Z Minister of Information, this is how I feel about the Member of Parliament, Farah Maalim. The General Secretary of the Communist Party of Kenya, Bukangeso Omole, he was attacked by assailants who were attempting to assassinate him. And one of the assailants lost his life. That is the day they knew that it is hard and difficult to find a communist unprepared. Just take a look.
Huh? I'll give that beats.
So, if you ask yourselves what really happened, the armed attackers stormed his residence at 3 a.m., leading to a firefight in which one attacker was neutralized, while 7 others fled. Police arrived an hour after the assailants had escaped. The party accuses rogue state militias and counter-revolutionary operatives, allegedly led by Benedict Wachira, of orchestrating the attack with the collaboration of the Kenya Kwanza regime, which Bukangeso Omole has heavily criticized. The party has condemned the attack, calling for an independent investigation to hold the perpetrators and their sponsors accountable. They view this as an attack not just on an individual, but on the broader revolutionary movement of Kenya's fight for justice and democracy. The party remains committed to protecting its members and continuing its struggle for liberation, socialism and justice, vowing not to be intimidated by such actions.
Huh? I'll give that beats.
Protests took place along Nyeri-Nyahururu Highway following the disappearance of our local residents from Muduini, Kenny West in Nyeri. Simon Mangi Githinji, commonly known as Saimo, was last seen on Wednesday. His motorbike was found abandoned near Solio Ranch, close to Miyoge Secondary School. A joint search involved the National Police Service, Solio Ranch Rangers and local residents. During this search, Githinji's phone was recovered, but it was found switched off. Let's take a look at how things unfolded. It seems like abductions is still taking place in the Republic of Kenya. Despite public and international outcry, we are still losing our people. Take a look at this video of a young Gen Z being abducted in Rongai.
Gari or something. Si wafanye si. Hakuna mzingani. Wanga. Sio tumsaidie. Aje sio tumsaidie. Ani abdata sawa.
Kenyans, are you tired of hearing abduction cases every day? And how should the public react when they see someone being abducted? Just listen to this.
Okay, I don't know if you guys have seen that video that's trending of the kid that's getting abducted in Rongai. Yeah, he's literally getting shoved into some Suzuki and people are just standing around looking. And I hope you can see the government has changed MO from using Subarus and Tiguans. They've now switched to Suzukis and TXs. Maji 150, that's what they've switched to. Okay, so the people are just looking and they are like, abduct you, and the people are just looking. Siju, I don't know if he's chucked his gun or cocked it, and there's a fucking crowd. If you cannot get something flammable, just stone that fucking car to nothing. Kumeja mawe, your politicians hakuna tama kwa meka on those roads. Anything that can be used as a projectile, direct it to that vehicle. Simple. These are criminals and they should be treated like criminals.
But despite being oppressed and denied freedom of expression and freedom of speech, the Gen Zs are still defiant. Just listen to this song.
Kasongo ana dhani ati abduct tutam respect. Kasongo ana dhani ati abduct tutam respect. Kazipata heshima na kazi yake tuna reject. Kazi yake tuna reject. Kazi yake theft. Ni theft. Kazi yake theft. Ni theft. Tunataka tuwa left. Anasikiza mabeshte madwanzi ndo maana tumrespect. Anadanganywa na madwanzi hatuwezi kurespect. No maana tuna inject. Tunataka tu a left. Kaongo uta left. Uongo tuna reject.
Inject party leader Moira Kipeso Senior visited the Keno-Sagana Road 48 kilometers where a contractor was paid an extra 1.2 billion shillings for nothing from the 8.4 billion shillings that was supposed to be paid. Like, when will all this corruption stop? Just take a look at this.
And this is the story of the Keno-Sagana Road, which was supposed to be 48 kilometers worth 8.4 billion Kenya shillings. Now see, this is an incomplete footbridge, the same as this one. Now there are like 5 footbridges before you get to Sagana along this road that were never done. These are the street lights. You just need to see the street lights. So the street lights ni chuma imesimama tu, hakuna taa, and part of this road is not even marked, and part of it the drainage is very bad. Now this road was supposed to cost 8.4 billion, but the contractor has been paid more than 8.4 billion. The contractor has been paid 9.6 billion Kenya shillings. That is 1.2 billion more than what he was contracted to be paid. Lakini ona, this is what we mean when we say wizi bila kazi. As you can see, these footbridges are needed because this place is dangerous to cross. And I'm going to show you more of these footbridges along this road. As you can see, there is a footbridge. Jamaa amelipwa, alikuwa nafaa alipo 8.4 billion, amelipwa 9.6 billion, which is 1.2 billion more. And this is the situation. Come, let me show you Keno-Sagana Road, 48 kilometers. And after that, I will show you the Sagana-Marua Road, which is 36 kilometers for 6 billion shillings. So there were 2 projects. This road to Sagana, that's 8.4 billion. Then from Sagana to Marua, that is 36 kilometers for 6 billion. So this is phase 1. This is part 1 of the Vampire Diaries. This is another crime scene. This is along the Kenol Sagana Road. You can see. This is how the contractor, after being paid all the money, plus 1.2 billion shillings extra, hii ndio kazi alifanya. Mnalipwa pesa yote. This is a contract that started in 2020 August. And this is 2025. You can see. It was supposed to run for 35 months. It is far much past that time.
George Ruto's matatus have not been complying and respecting simple traffic laws. The drivers of these two matatus, namely John Mwangi of Ambush and Dominic Amaya of Manifest, have been charged with driving unroadworthy vehicles after being arraigned at Kibera Law Courts. Both drivers pleaded guilty and were fined 50,000 shillings each, or 6 months in jail. The matatus were impounded on Thursday after video surfaced showing reckless driving along Magadi Road headed to Ongata Rongai, with both vehicles severely overloaded and several youths perched on the roofs and hanging from the windows. Just take a look at this matatu misbehaving on the Kenyan roads. One Kenyan tour guide decided to inject, teaching some tourists a name that is currently famous in Kenya. Take a look.
So the other stuff, we call them kasongo. Kasongo? Yeah, the Pumba. The Pumba? Yeah, we call them kasongo. Kasongo? Yes. Kasongo. 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 Yeah. They have a great song called Kasongo, yeah, yeah.
Kwa majina naitwa Anthony Muturi. Mimi alisema Ruto must go, na mtu asikuwe na tamaa kama mimi, na Ruto ni mwizi kama mimi. Ruto must go, na ninaomba msamaha sana.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. I'm your host Elvis Derry. See you in the next one. Bye bye.
They're coming for you.
From abductions caught on camera to patriots occupying the streets, have we lost the young generation?
Power to the people.
Gachagua threatened government.
And if this unit is not dismantled, we'll be giving the name of the building and the full names.
They're coming for you.
Hello, how are you? Welcome back to ShowNewTrend. I'm Yusuf today and my name is Elvis Derry. The year 2024 has been a different year, has been a year that has never been seen before in Kenyan history. And recently, abductions has been taking place. And the President of Kenya, President William Ruto, came out and announced that there's no abductions that is taking place under his government. And he went on and said that nobody has been abducted. Listen to this.
Yale yamesemekana mambo ya abduction tutakomesha, ndio vijana wa Kenya waweze kuishi kwa amani na vile vile wawe na nidhamu na wawe wangwana, tuweze kujenga Kenya tukiwa pamoja. Tumekubaliana?
So my question is this: will all those people who are still missing, who have been abducted, be released? Take a look at this rare video of a Kenyan, a comrade, and a young man who is being abducted at night in South B. Take a look.
Anamuingiza kwa boot.
Guys.
Wewe! Ando anachukua watu wa mtu anapotea.
This is crazy and totally wrong. Like so many Kenyans own Subaru and Probox, but they're using this type of cars to conduct their illegal abductions in Kenya. And right now, so many Subaru owners are worried because the image has already been tarnished.
Hey guys, kindly, may I have a Subaru? Na hizi Subaru saizi imechoma picha. Mpaka na sasa hivi nasikia kama anaweza uza Subaru yangu. Sababu unaweza kuta mtu anaweza kukumistake, afikirie wewe ndio Subaru ndio unabeba watu. Well my friends, mimi people should know that not all Subarus are Subaru. Sababu wao madisi wamefanya mpaka Subaru was a very nice car. Mpaka mtu kutembea na Subaru unaingisha fear. Kama mtu anasema ndio hiyo. Hawa Subaru boys. So I think kindly babe, unasemaje tuuze hii Subaru yetu ama tuiweke parking tununue gari lingine? Kwanza Subaru sababu we love the car so much. Wenda kama umefungua dirisha. Unajua paka kwanza tuseme kuna mtu anaweza tu kukodea sema ndio yote ya Subaru ndio, kabla ufikirie papa na shida yote imeletwa na hao watu kwa abduct watu.
The former deputy president of Kenya, Rigathi Gachagua, he came out and said that if the abduction unit is not disbanded, he will come out and he will reveal the location and also the persons who are in charge in these abductions that has been going on and taking place every day in Kenya. Listen to what Deputy Rigathi Gachagua had to say.
And if this unit is not dismantled, we'll be giving the name of the building and the full names of that officer and his cousin in this administration. And these people are not answerable to the Inspector General of Police. Your guess is as good as mine as to who is the commander of that unit. Let me emphasize that killing our children will not quell the anger of the Kenyan people. People are very angry with this administration. Abducting young people is not a solution. You must address the cause of the disquiet, of the discontent. Why are people aggrieved with this administration? That must be dealt with. Abducting these children and killing them is not a solution. And I must remind my friend and brother, Dr. William Ruto, that since independence, no government has ever gone for children. This is the first administration in the history of this country to target children for repression and persecution. Even the colonial administration brutal as it was, it never went for the children. And the question the president must address is simple. Why has everybody turned against you and the administration in only 2 years?
After Rigathi Gachagwa's statement, Kenyans did not waste time, neither they did not hesitate to reveal the persons who is in charge or involved in the abductions. Take a look.
Fear Kenyans. I repeat, fear Kenyans. Revolution is real. Now, just a few hours after Rigiji has given us hint of who the abductors might be, akatupatia location, akatuambia ni city center, akatupatia floor, akatuambia ni 21st floor, na akatupatia the first name of the person who is leading the abductions, Mr. Abel. Now, Kenyans hawajalala. They have gone ahead